want to destroy your life, first thing to do is lay blame. And by the way, some people don't blame themselves or others, they blame situations and circumstances. We call that telling a story, right? It would have worked out except this thing here. Because of that, it didn't work out. So now I can feel good because I got something else to blame and it couldn't have been me. The truth is, as long as you're blaming somebody else, you're not responsible. As long as you're not responsible, some people think the word responsible is like this big weight. Remember, responsible means response-able. So you're willing to say, hey, I'm in charge, you can't take charge. As long as something on the outside can control you, you're always going to feel like you're at the effect of your life, never in charge, and you'll never be happy because you won't have any self-esteem.
Welcome to the Brent Daniels Real Estate Investing Show. We've got a fantastic show for you today. We've got the King Closer, RJ Bates, is going to be joining us, talking about closing deals over the phone, the next evolution of real estate wholesaling. That's what this whole show is going to be about. We're going 3 hours about this, and I'm going to start on the whiteboard. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Some different strategies that we're going to be implementing in my business. We're going to be breaking down how I'm getting the absolute most bananas leads possible. Bananas leads, not leads for bananas, but leads for really great deals. I'm going to show you exactly how we're doing that. Started in 2023 and has really blown up in 2024. So stay tuned for that. We also have at the back end of this show, Richard Wonders. He is the Novation King. So we've got the King Closer and the Novation King that are going to be joining us on today's show. Not only that, we got Rafael Cortez. He's absolutely incredible at breaking everything down. He's got a team that is doing incredible things with door knocking. So if you have questions for that, make sure that you put it in the chat. That's what the whole point of doing this show live is, to answer your questions and to celebrate you if you are having success in your business, whether you're closing deals, whether you've talked to property owners for the first time, whether you're pulling lists, whatever progress that you're making, we want to celebrate you, because the fact is it's about progress, not perfection. Why am I standing at the whiteboard? Standing here because I think it's important to just get an overall view of wholesaling, right? Wholesaling starts with really three main parties, right? You've got the seller. You've got a seller that has decided that they are going to sell their property. That's what an actual lead is. If you're wondering, is this person a lead? Have they made the decision that they're going to sell? That's number one, all right? That's your seller, all right? Number two is you, right? This is you. You're powerful. Look at this. Look how powerful you are. I even drew like big old biceps on you. Absolutely incredible. That's you. You're strong. You're powerful. You're going out there. You're taking massive and perfect action every single day. You're solving the problems of property owners that won't solve them themselves or can't, right? That's what we do all day. And by the way, let me just put this just so that we can really be clear on what kind of business we're building. If you're wholesaling real estate, you are not in the real estate business. You're in the marketing business. That's it. You go and you find unbelievable opportunities and you sell them to other investors. That's what wholesaling is. Why would we do that? Why wouldn't we want to be the investor? Well, one, you don't have risk. The risk involved is that you're not buying the property, market shifts, and you lose everything. You buy a property wrong, you didn't do the numbers right, or there's something that you didn't know about that property, and then all of a sudden you lose a bunch of money. So wholesaling is a wonderful way to sit back, go and find great opportunities, see what other investors are doing that are really smart, that have gone through and paid the stupid tax early on in their careers, so that you can go, okay, I can avoid the mistakes that they made. I can see what they're doing. I can make sure that the numbers that I'm running are in alignment with what successful investors are already doing. It's a wonderful bird's eye view of the industry. If you're starting out as a real estate investor, finding deals and selling them to your buddies, watching them go through the whole process is the genius move. It is. It's the foundation. But don't get it twisted. We are marketers. We are going to find the opportunities and sell them to the investors that are going to actually own it. A real estate investor owns property. That's it, right? So wholesaling is not investing. Wholesaling is marketing. And so we get really, really, really good at marketing. And I've got Jesse, my man, who runs all of my PPC campaigns. He's going to be coming on here soon. He's going to blow your face off. He's going to blow your face off. But this is wholesaling. So what happens here? What happens here is you put together a purchase agreement. Purchase agreement. We like using the word purchase agreement as opposed to contracts because contracts sound very sterile. Contracts sound very, I'm about to sign up for XM radio and they're going to charge me $19 a month for the next 20 years. A contract sounds like your cell phone bill, right? Contracts are these things that like, oh my gosh, it just has, it just naturally makes us kind of shell up and it makes sellers to shell up. So we get a purchase agreement. What do we have between us and our investor buddies? We have a assignment agreement. Okay, so this is between you and the property owner, right? And this is between you and the investor. All right, pretty simple. You've got the opportunity, you go and you filter out all the properties. You look at all 143 million properties that are residential properties in the United States, and you go, oh, I got to find the 6 to 10% that are in distress, the properties that are in foreclosure, the properties that aren't paying property taxes, the properties that have the tall grass, broken windows, the roofs falling off, all these things, the properties that the condition is really rough. These are the best deals, by the way. The biggest deals are the ugly houses, the ones that need the most renovation. Just saying, you want to get big deals, go after the ugliest houses. So we go and we filter out and we go, okay, there's two main ways to get these opportunities, right? Two main ways. You're either doing inbound or you're doing outbound. Outbound is usually where we start, right? Outbound is we're making offers on the market. Outbound is we drive around and we find these ugly houses and we reach out, we knock on the door, we send them mail, we give them a call, we do whatever we can to get in contact with these property owners that have some sort of distress, whether it's the condition of the property, whether it's financial distress or whether it's an emotional distress. They just don't want to deal with those properties, right? But there's only inbound and there's only outbound. And I'm going to break down the differences between inbound and outbound because it is night and day. Let me just tell you this. The big boys, multi-million dollar companies that source deals, 90 to 100% of their deals are inbound for marketing. It's from putting budget. They have budgets to be able to spend money on TV, on radio, on direct mail, on bandit signs, on billboards, on pay-per-click. That's where you want to be. All roads really lead to pay-per-click. They're the best, and I'm going to get into that. But our job is to find these property owners and put them under a purchase agreement and then assign that to the cash buyers. Cash buyers are everywhere, guys. There's a bazillion videos on this channel to show you how to find the absolute best cash buyers. They are everywhere. Just understand this. There are more of these than there are, there are more of these than there are these, right? So find the absolute best ones that can close the deals, and there's always going to be a surplus of this. There's always going to be ugly properties, all right? So that's really what wholesaling is if you really want to boil it down. Now, this show is called The Evolution of Wholesaling, all right? You've got different states that are requiring a license to wholesale. You've got South Carolina that's pushing to not allow wholesaling at all. They say you need to have a license to wholesale, but also if you have a license, you're not allowed to wholesale. So what do you do? And this is what I see a lot of the bigger companies transitioning to. And this isn't somewhere where you have to start out with unless you have the budget, unless you have the chops to go out and raise funds. But it is wholetailing. And this is a conversation that I've had with Jerry Norton, the flipping master, the flipping genius, over and over and over and over again in our own businesses. We both own Joe Homebuyer Franchises. It's a franchise that is just branding and training and all this other things. It's fantastic. They're out of Utah, so we collaborate on a lot of things. We listen to each other and we really kind of run things by each other. But it's a different process. Let me explain why. All right, this is how it's different to wholetail and why I think it's a smarter strategy moving forward. Here's the issue that you run into when you do an assignment agreement. You have built a relationship with this property owner, right? You and this property owner, you guys, they know you, they like you, they trust you. They think you're buying the house. They think that you're buying the house. Now you can have a conversation and say, hey, listen, it's in the purchase agreement. If you use the right ones, it's in the purchase agreement that says, listen, I have the right while we're under contract to see if my friends want to buy this contract from me, to see if they want to do this deal. It's in there. Plain language. We talk about it every time with our sellers. They understand that. All right. But still, it's a foreign concept, I think, in a lot of ways. And so they're like, okay, you're buying the house, which is fantastic, right? When you go into a wholesale situation, you're going to have more control, but there's more costs, all right, obviously. And let me explain. I'll get to it. Don't worry. So you're not using this investor's money to buy this house, because usually in a wholesale deal, once you do that, let me put this back up here. Once you do this assignment agreement, now this buyer is buying this house and you're completely out of it, and you earn a fee. You earn the fee, an assignment fee, to be able to do this. And listen, I know that this is elementary to a lot of you guys, but this will really kind of show you the process and the kind of the mind mapping of wholetailing and why it's the future, and why I think a lot of people are going to move to this, because it's easier to scale big businesses when you have more control. You're going to give up profits, but you're going to gain control, because what happens is this investor goes on vacation. This investor is shopping hard money lenders. This investor is closing 2 other deals that day, and they forgot they're closing your deal that day. And this seller is expecting everything to happen according to the purchase agreement, because that's what's promised. Purchase agreement outlines the relationship. That's what the purchase agreement does, right? It says, okay, this is how everything's going to go. This is how much money you're going to get, and this is when you're going to get it. So their expectations are set. And the title company and the closing attorneys, they're doing everything they can to get all the ducks in a row to close according to that purchase agreement. But then you get a squirrely buyer. What if you assigned it to another wholesaler? What if that wholesaler sells it to one of their friends, one of their cash buyers, one of their investors, and that investor now wants to go into that property every week with contractors, but you had a conversation with this property owner that said, I only need to come in one time. It's going to be a circus, but then I'm going to be out of your hair. But these guys are going, no. We need to walk it. We need to get our contractors in there. We need to do a termite inspection. We need to make sure that our plumbers see what's going on. I need to get my roofer over there. And then all of a sudden, you're over here and you're going, hey, Mr. Seller, you need to get back into the property. I know that we said that we didn't, and blah, 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 blah. The relationship that you have with the seller starts eroding, because you're not doing what you said was going to happen during the transaction, because you gave up control to your cash buyer. If you're in the chat and you've ever experienced this, please let us know your experience. Have you ever had a cash buyer that all of a sudden wanted to change everything up in the transaction? Right? Or how about this? The cash buyers that just stop by the house whenever they want. I'm not joking you. We did a deal in Scottsdale. We sold it to one of our friends. One of our friends went and sold it to a guy that was from the circus, literally from a circus. He showed up in a circus car, and in the middle, he's bringing all these other investors that he's working with. He's juggling. He's a professional juggler. Not only a professional juggler, he's a professional whistler. He's doing whistling here and echo noises and birds, and he's doing all these crazy things in the middle. And, oh, by the way, he's going through the drawers and the cabinets of the house. The seller's freaking out. Seller's like, what is happening? This is literally a circus. I sold this house because I wanted to be as smooth as possible. I wanted convenience. I wanted speed and convenience, so I gave you your price. They're going bananas. We're like, I don't know what's happening. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's because you lose control as soon as you assign your deal. All right? You do. And when you get to a point where you're building a big brand and Google reviews matter and testimonials matter, and you want to build an actual long-lasting business, you got to get rid of the shenanigans. And that's why what we're talking about with the evolution of your wholesaling business. Listen, when you're starting out, go get it. Go get that contract. Go get that property under contract. Go find an investor that's going to buy it. Get an assignment fee. Keep it clean. Do your thing. 1Z, 2Z, 3, 4, maybe a dozen, maybe once a month. You're closing deals. Once you start getting into that 100 deals a month, a year, 100 deals a month, can't do it. There's a reason why OfferPad and Open Door close their properties. Get the people out of there, clean it up a little bit, and literally put it back on the market. That's real business. Now they're losing a tremendous amount of money because they don't know real estate, but it's really interesting to follow what those strategies are, those big guys. So that's saying 17 minutes into this thing, let me explain to you a different path to have more control so that you can go out confidently, close these deals, and still make really great profits, all right? So instead of assigning the contract here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna focus your time and efforts, if you don't have the funds, on raising funds for the down payment to close these deals, all right? So you've got, and I'm going to discuss some of the fees and the profitability and all that here, okay? So still the same parties, okay? You got a purchase agreement with the property owner. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get probably 20% you're going to raise from private lenders, okay? People call this PMLs, private money lenders, right? This is friends, this is family, this is people that want to be real estate investors. At some point you could go and you can approach people that have their Roth IRAs that are self-directed, and that's really smart. But these are going to be your network. These are going to be the people that you know. I don't know anybody, Brent. I'm in college, or everybody that I know is poor, and that's why I'm doing this business, because I don't want to be poor and all these other things. Listen, you find a great deal, you're going to find money for this. I think somebody said it on Hotline Monday. They've never not been able to fund a great deal. And that's the absolute truth. Now, you get 80% from a hard money lender, right? You can Google it right now. Hard money lending in your area. Start having some conversations with them. Start seeing what they're looking for. But for the most part, these are what's called asset-based lenders. Asset. And so they're not looking at your credit or what's in your bank account or anything. They're looking at the property. What is the deal? They're going to go and comp the deal and say, hey, we'll lend this amount, because if you default, we get the property, and it'll be a smoking deal for us. We know how to get rid of it, so we're good with that, right? So you got 80% is your private money lender. 20% is private money lender. 80% is your hard money lender, all right? And you're going to close this deal. You're going to actually become an investor. You're going to actually own this deal. You're not going to earn an assignment fee. You are now flipping this property. And what you can do here is, once you own this, you get the purchase agreement. Seller says, I need to move out here. I need my money here. This is what I need to happen. You control the whole process. You get the deal closed. And then you go and you clean it up, or you just put it right to your buyers list, or you put it on the MLS, right? Now you have the biggest buyers list ever. Now you don't have to worry about all the cash buyers. You can put it right on the market. And depending on the condition, you might even be able to get conventional offers if the property's not completely destroyed. Remember this, if a property's completely destroyed, banks will not lend on it. It has to sell cash. It's just too big of a risk for them, typically. I understand there's some loan programs, all you loan officers out there, but for the most part, these properties that are in really rough condition have to sell cash, all right? But what can you expect? Because if you sell a deal here, boom, if you assign a deal, the average assignment fee is $15K. You're not paying closing costs. You're not paying lender fees. You're not paying real estate agent fees. You're not cleaning up the property. You're not getting insurance on the property. You're not turning on the utilities, right? Because you're just selling it clean. Boom. I'm done. I'm out, right? But if you do but when you do wholetail it and you do close on it to get more control, you can expect your closing costs. And this is both sides, but typically you can just pay for when you buy it. You can negotiate it with the seller. Sometimes with the seller, you can say, hey, we'll split the closing costs to narrow that down. I highly suggest that you do. Instead of going, hey, cash as is, net offer to you, don't do that. Just say, hey, cash as is, but we're going to split the closing costs. Is that fair? Oh, no? Somebody else is offering you to pay all the closing costs at the same price I'm offering? Great, I'll do the same thing, whatever. But try to split the closing costs, but you will have closing costs. You will have lender fees. All right, you're going to have that. You have closing costs, lender fees, and typically, I mean, your closing costs, expect it to be about 2%. Could be higher, but about 2% is good. Just depends on the price point. Obviously, the lower the price, the higher percentage it's going to be because the title companies kind of set a minimum for that. Lender fees are going to be anywhere from 1 to 2 points to get that going. Plus, you've got your private money lenders until you have enough in your healthy, heavy bank account to pay for it yourself, to do the down payment yourself. Here's another thing, just as a side note. Once you start building a relationship with these hard money lenders, at some point, they're going to give you 100%. They're going to give you 100%. And I'm not talking transactional funding. It's a whole different thing. I'm talking they're going to give you 100% because they know that you get great deals. And so the risk isn't really there, especially when the market's going, flat or up. I'm just saying, and this isn't it is a political thing, but in my experience, when there's a Republican in the White House, hard money lenders are like, wow, we'll give you 110%. When they're not, they go to like 80%. It's interesting. Watch what happens. We'll see what happens in October. Anyway, but that's how it's been for the last 20 years. Anyway, here you go. They will give you all of this. And so you save on some fees and you don't have to raise some private money and you don't have to put your own money into it. All right. What else do you have? Well, you've got insurance. Get a really good insurance agent. Now you got to put insurance. They're going to make you pay for like a year policy. They'll refund you some of it, but not all of it. So you can expect probably in the neighborhood of $500 to $1,000 here. You've got realtor fees. And so that's going to be probably 4%. So you're looking at this and you're like, geez, Louise, like it's going to be 4, 6, 8% plus $1,000. It's going to be that's going to take up all my profit. Yeah, get big deals, get better deals. Not only that, you're going to make a whole lot more than 15K on these deals if you put it on the MLS. Typically. Here in Phoenix, we get bigger fees. So some of the bigger markets, if you have really great cash buyers, you're going to be able to make really great profits. But when we're looking at this, we're like, okay, geez, this is going to cost us a lot more to take this property down and sell it. That's why you prefer to just do the clean assignment fee. But when you do the clean assignment fee, you deal with buyer shenanigans. You do. When you send it out, and somebody goes and knocks the door of the property owner that you just locked up and just spent, 3 weeks, 3 months building relationship, building trust with, and somebody's on there being like, you can't trust that person. This is what they're doing. Look, they're trying to sell your house. You don't have to deal with the shenanigans when you close the deals, but make sure you're getting really great deals. If they're a little bit tighter, you're going to have to assign it. My suggestion is assign it to people that close really, really, really smoothly. The best buyers buy it sight unseen. They know the property. They know what the cost is to fix it up. They know what they're going to do to it. They know what it's going to sell for when it is fixed up, right? So I see a couple different strategies here to really have more control. You're not going to make as much per deal. but you're going to have more control. More control means you can build systems. Systems mean that you need less personnel as you grow to build a bigger business. But two paths for here. Trusted buyers or wholesale. Boom, boom, boom. That's what it's about. And I'm telling you, once you get to a certain income level, control is more important than the size of your deals. You're going to give up some. You're going to give up probably, if you're averaging 25K, you're probably going to give up 7 to 8K, right? You're going to go from 25 to 17. But at 17, you could do 200 deals. At 25, you can do 75 because of all the shenanigans and all the things, all the unnamed and unknown circumstances and parties that get involved as soon as you assign your rights to somebody else. Assignment is awesome. I love it. I wish that it was just like, boom, you sell it to your buyer and it goes as smooth as possible. But unfortunately, when you deal with a lot of different buyers on different deals, and it's not on an MLS and you don't have a realtor running it, it's gonna be a worse experience for the seller. And long term, it's gonna affect your business. It's gonna affect your ability to really grow and to build a brand in your marketplace and really dominate. Does that make sense to everybody? Did I make that clear? Please put it in the chat there. We're monitoring the chat. We've got Alejandro today. We've got Matt. I mean, we've got the whole team. We've got the whole team here today. So we're going bananas. All right. But that's it. That's something that I got, guys. I'm telling you, as you grow, this is the plan that I want you to keep in your mind and not just go, oh, I'm going to just assign for the rest of my life to the whole big buyers because that's it's going to be awesome. It's not. It's just not realistic. When you're starting out, you're doing a few deals, go assign that, get the full amount. Don't cut it up. Don't do any of that stuff. But yeah, there you go. Awesome. Off to a fast start, guys. Here we go. Good. Here we go. Awesome. So right now, what I want to do is I want to break down some stuff. I've got Jesse Champlain here. I stole Jesse. He was running Google accounts. He was with Google, and I stole him over. And he has a great experience with real estate. He worked, as a young man, worked at Keegley, actually, and then found his passion with pay-per-click, running those, keeping our ads, our campaigns really strong and our keywords really strong. And I'm telling you guys, the difference is this. With inbound leads, I think, with outbound, when you're prospecting and you're door knocking and you're texting and you're doing all these things to reach out to the property owner, your profitability is fantastic. But it's really tough to really build a huge business that's consistent and predictable without inbound leads for a couple different reasons. One, burnout. Burnout is real. When you have a tremendous amount of leads, here's the stats. And you can tell me, what, 1 to 12 with pay-per-click leads or 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
We need 10 pay-per-click leads to close one deal. Average deal size is 25,000, 24,800 and some change. All right. With cold call and text, it's 1 to 60 to 75 leads. Yeah. So what that means is acquisition teams have to go through a tremendous amount more effort and and by the way, pay-per-click is 45 days start to finish. And most of them are 30 days. Yep. From the first contact to close, 45 days. Cold calls, text, 120 days. So listen, if you don't have a budget and you're putting in your time over your money, you're putting in effort over your budget, great, fantastic. Just understand you got to go 4 months before you're going to start getting paid of consistency. So remember to build up your pipeline. But my guys, Chad and Ryan and Joshua, they get a lead today. They're on an appointment today. They got a contract today, 1 out of 10 times.
Boom. That's it, man. Right. Like, I think when you look at, we're going to talk about March. I haven't ran the numbers for April yet, but March was explosive. We had about 112 web forms come in.
Yep.
Handful of calls as well. But we had 11 PPC contracts in the month of March. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like nearly like 1 in 10, near 1 in 11, right? And when I look at, the team and how we've kind of nurtured this whole process, it really is with your agency, who you're running with, who's running your PPC campaigns. I've seen it time and time again. It's all about how you nurture the relationship between the agency, the person running, and the sales team, right? It's always, it's the leads are bad, or this is that, or whatever it may be, right? That's just sales and marketing, right? The way me and Chad and Ryan and Joshua have built this synergistic relationship, if we're being honest, on how we talk about leads. The number one thing I want to tell to Chad is like, tell me if the leads are bad. I said this before I was even salaried. I was like, Chad, Ryan, the only way this is going to work is if you tell me the honest opinion on these leads.
Yeah.
Because I can go in and change things. I can go delegate budget elsewhere, right? Things of that nature. And so we built up this system that is just next level. It really is.
Well, let me explain this. 11 deals.
Yeah.
I think it was like 300,000.
I think a little more.
More than 300,000.
Yeah. I think
right?
I think it was like 350, 400.
And in March, we spent how much? 37,000.
Yeah. What the heck?
To over 300,000 return.
Yeah.
So guys, just remember this, just in your mind, the stats, 25% for marketing, 30% for staff, 5% for miscellaneous overhead. Okay. That's a 40% net business.
Yep.
That is like primo, right? Because when you're, as an entrepreneur, you're either building a business that is a cash machine or you're building a business that you can exit someday and sell.
Right.
This is not one of those exit someday and sell businesses. This is the ATM machine to go and to buy everything else, right?
Okay.
To buy properties. I mean, this is real. People will use the proceeds from wholesaling. They'll go buy properties, 1 a month, 2 a month, 3 a month. They're going to build up their portfolio.
Yep.
They're going to keep it for 15 years.
Yeah.
They're going to put 15-year loans on them. They're going to pay all these off over the blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And then they sell the whole portfolio for millions of dollars and they retire.
Yep.
That's the path that a lot of real estate entrepreneurs go down. Right. I mean, that's what you do. You use this to go and fund that other business. And that other business is your portfolio. And you keep it for a long time and you let appreciation do what it does. And you let the debt pay down do what it does. And then eventually you literally have an asset that you can sell. Not all businesses that have been owned for 10, 15, 20 years are worth selling. That's an absolute fact.
Yep.
Most aren't.
Yeah.
All the portfolios are.
Absolutely.
Real estate portfolios are, especially if you keep a good eye on it. But eventually, over time, you always win with real estate.
Always.
Oh,
I mean, always. One of the big things I want to talk about, I've been auditing a lot of accounts lately, quite a bit, and it's been kind of the same thing over and over
What
again.
does that mean, auditing?
So I'll go in, I'll have some, either Brent will send me some people over or whoever it may be, and like, hey, can you just look at why I'm not winning in PPC? And time again, Brent, it is the same thing. It is either someone's running it, they're running it themselves, right?
Yep.
And they're tracking the wrong stats. Because typically, right, you look at marketing as a whole, you're looking at click-through rates, you're looking at cost per leads, you're looking at CPCs. The problem with that is, Brent, if I tell you our cost per lead, that's important, right?
Yes.
But is a cost per quality lead more important to you?
Yeah.
Because it funnels down to cost per deal.
Yeah.
Right. When we started.
Well, listen, you just said it. It was 1 out of 10. That means 9 of them aren't deals.
Exactly.
If that was 1 out of 2.
Yeah. When we first started, it was 1 in 20.
Right.
And we were able to knock that down.
Yep.
And so like even our cost per deal, right? We were sitting, I think, at like, it would cost us $15,000 to get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know where we're at now? $4,600.
Love it.
To get a deal.
Right.
And so that comes from these conversations you have with your agency.
Not in March.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
In March, it was like $3,000.
Yeah, $3,000.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you have to have, one, you have to be okay having really high level conversations with your agency, whoever's running your account. And one of the things that I would recommend, and I've said this like probably 7 times this week is like they're telling the person I'm auditing the account for is talking about, well, they tell us about our CPL, they tell us about our click-through rate or our cost per click. I'm like, and I ask them just straight up, does that matter to you? And they're like, well, not really. I'm like, yeah, because it doesn't translate to real money.
Right.
You should ask them cost per quality lead, cost per appointment, and cost per deal.
Say it again.
Cost per quality lead.
Can somebody put this in the chat? Either Alejandro or somebody in the that's watching. By the way, thank you guys for joining us live. We love you guys. We want to support and give you everything that you need to go out and find a deal this week.
Let's go.
Find a deal right now. Now, listen, pay-per-click is expensive.
It is.
Pay-per-click is not for you just starting out. You have no experience.
Yep. No.
Because the fact is, and I'll put it here. I'll share this with you guys. And this is really important. And I say this all the time. If you look at pay-per-click, it's like no until you're full-time, have money and experience.
Yep. 100%.
So listen, well, that doesn't relate to me, Brent. I'm out of this live. Don't. This is where you want to go. This is the path that you're going down. I'm telling you, at some point, all roads lead to pay-per-click.
Right.
All roads lead to pay-per-click.
100%.
I mean, the barrier to entry, the only other thing that I can see being really massive from a marketing standpoint is TV and radio, and mostly TV.
Yep.
And TV has a huge barrier to entry because if you don't understand, I mean, you need to spend at least probably in major markets, 30, 40 grand minimum in TV.
Oh, easy.
In pay-per-click, what's the minimum?
Minimum, if you're in a metro, right? Big metro market, I'd say 10 to 15.
Okay.
Right. I feel
minimum.
Minimum.
Why?
Because if you're, I'm going to use Atlanta. We'll use Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta and you're spending 3 to 5 grand, you'll get leads. They won't be quality though. And I'll explain why. The way the Google algorithm works is you're going to have, your big players, right? Atlanta, they have massive players out there. I mean, Open Door, OfferPad, etc.
Bro, every major market.
Realistically, every major market.
Yep.
And what happens is when the agency focuses on cost per lead, cost per click, etc., the problem with that is there's 8 places to rank on Google Ads on the first page.
Right.
8. You are elevating the big players because they're always going to get the top 4. My whole strategy is getting to the top 4. And I'm every single account I've ran, it's been pretty successful to get that. We're sitting at, in Dallas, I'm number 1. And we started in February.
Well, even Phoenix.
Even Phoenix, we're number 1. And Phoenix, you don't talk about competitive markets. Right. And so the reason why you start with a high budget is you have to be able to compete with the big players because they're going to be taking up the majority.
If somebody's watching this and they want an audit on their account.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Absolutely.
Or do you have time to do that?
Reach out to me. I can throw it in the chat really quick.
Just go to talktopeople.com, guys.
There you go. Talktopeople.com.
Will you put the runner on there, Matt? Talktopeople.com. Make sure that you go there, check that out.
It's
and have Jesse, if you're running pay-per-click, have him audit the account. And I'm telling you this, there are certain bigger agencies in our space that hide your account. You can't even see what they're spending money on.
I literally this week audited an account and I'm like, oh,
you audited 2 accounts.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, well, I can't really audit because I don't see the numbers, right? If your agency hides the data from you, huge red flag, guys. Huge red flag.
Yep.
Transparency is everything in this game, right? I feel like in business, if we just talk about business in general, transparency is everything. If I can't go to Brent and tell him our cost per deal, if I can't go to our team and say, hey, we're spending this much, like it's just silly. It's in my opinion.
But again, go back. So if you don't have a big enough budget, you're just elevating the people.
You're elevating the big players,
right?
Because you're going to take up 4 through 8 instead of 1 through 4,
right?
And that's a problem because
what's the difference? I mean, do people not click 5,
no,
6, 7, 8?
Do you scroll down Google? Do you like when you type something in?
What's the joke about the second page on Google? That's where all the bodies are buried type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's a really big thing. I see a bunch of comments in here for Facebook, and that is like, I feel like top of the funnel, right? When it comes to marketing paid inbound leads, Facebook is the top. Then you go into Google, then you go into TV or radio, I feel like, and then TV, right? And I feel like that's just the progression.
And then Facebook.
And then,
Well, explain the difference between search versus Facebook ads.
Yeah. So Facebook ads are disruptive, right? You're scrolling Instagram, you're scrolling Facebook, and you see an ad. It's disruptive. You might not be looking to sell a house. And I will tell you this, I don't care what any agency tells you, you cannot target by demographics. So you can't really, your creatives are king, people, on Facebook. Creatives is king, right? Whereas search, people are literally typing in Google, sell my house fast in Phoenix.
I'm telling you, people literally, I mean, we did it earlier this week.
Yeah.
They came in, literally, Monday? They came in, we set an appointment, went out there, locked up the deal.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, this is like, people are,
because people are like, they're actively looking to sell their house. Now, listen, you're going to run across a lot of people that have their property listed.
Yep.
And they're just not getting offers. Yep. So they're just looking for you to come in and give them their list
the
price,
retail price.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. You've got people that inherited a lot of properties. Yep. We see that a lot. A lot of the properties that we're buying are the properties that were inherited or going through probate. And they live out of state.
Yep.
They're coming into town.
Yep.
They want it done and dusted, and they don't want to mess around with them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the biggest thing with there is like, that was intentional. Like, probate and inherited was intentional. We created ad groups probably 6 months ago to target those people. And it's really cool to see that, I mean, even in middle of February, we did I pulled a lever that was pretty massive. Where
Don't tell them, Jesse. Don't tell them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, of course. Essentially, because the Google algorithm can be tricky. And so you have to go in, you have to be able to experiment with it. And that's one thing I love working with Brent is like, I have the ability to experiment.
Yeah.
And so like, I was like, okay, we're getting like 60 to like 80 leads a month. That's not good enough. I need 100 to 150 because we brought on a new acquisitions person.
Yep.
And I was like, I have, like, realistically, that feeds a lot of mouths. Yep. And so like, how do I account for that? And so I actually backtracked in the process, switched a bidding strategy up, and we are now sitting at, on average, from March to even April, 100+ leads a month.
Yep.
And that's just, that's what you have to be. If you have an agency, and I'm trying to be careful here because I don't want to sound like a jerk.
Yeah.
But if you have an agency,
I'll sound like a jerk.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I've been through a lot of agencies.
You have. And like, if you have an agency that's just okay with like setting something up and then like
they forget
about it, it's pointless, guys. Yeah. Like, Google ads on average changes every 2 weeks.
Yep.
A big massive change happens probably every quarter. And it's like, if you're not accounting for that, you're literally lighting money on fire.
Yep. Guys, if you have a PPC account or you're getting PPC leads and you want it to be audited, go to talktopeople.com. Or if you're just at that point now where you're ready to open up to pay-per-click leads and small markets, how much budget?
I'd say $500 to $7,500, depending on market, right?
Big budget?
Big budget, 10 to 15.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
Boom.
Jesse, you're the man. Go to, I got a couple more questions for you. The cost per leads are about $400.
I'd say $350 to $400. Yeah.
Right. In a major market.
In a major market. Yep.
Yeah.
It's expensive, guys.
Like, I'm telling you,
that's not even.
My team gets these leads. They get texts, alerts. And by the way, here, we didn't even touch on this, and I think we should go into this now because this is really important. There's one thing to get the leads.
Yeah. Ooh.
You need to convert them instantly. I mean, as soon as somebody fills out a web form, if you're not reaching out to them within 1 minute.
Within 1 minute, guys.
The drop off is incredible.
I mean, you say it all the time. Time kills all deals.
Yep.
It's 10x in PPC.
Yep.
And even in inbound marketing, I feel like it's 10x.
Yep.
Because if they're hungry or if they're looking for an offer, if they're looking to sell their house, like, they need to know quickly. And to caveat that, there's almost an even more important piece there. It's like, you're able to contact those leads within, Chad does it within 30 seconds, right? Yeah. But not only that, you have to be able to have a pillar conversation, the 4 pillars, like, quickly. And like, Chad will send me screenshots of these leads, and they're like the call time he has on them. Dude, one he sent me probably a month ago, 2 hours and 9 minutes.
The call. Well, he's closed, I think, this year 3, maybe 4 on the initial call.
Yeah. And that's
I think it's accounted for, and I could pull it up, but probably $250,000 already this year from
absolutely
first call closes.
Yeah.
that Chad gets on there, does his thing. He's the best of the best.
He's the best.
So that's really important.
It is.
A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to just have a call center, or I'm going to just do VA, or I'm going to have somebody. It is the most important role.
It is
in this part.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the first contact with people has to be unbelievable. Either yourself or somebody that is unbelievable at critical thinking, unbelievable at building rapport, unbelievable at lowering that force field that everybody has when they're talking to a stranger, and they don't know if somebody's going to try to take advantage of them, or if they're going to try to listen to them, and all these things, and just hitting them with, well, how much do you want for it, and all these other things puts them on the back foot. It builds the wall stronger. There's definitely ways to go about that. If you guys are interested in what those calls sound like and how to go about that and the scripting of that, let me know, and we can certainly bring Chad on to the show here on Wednesdays and go through that. But it's critical. Yeah. And the speed to that lead is absolutely paramount, because if you don't get to it, it's gone.
It's gone. I mean, we talked about the 1 to 4, right? The 1 to 4, they're most likely that person that's, filling out that information is going to other websites.
Yep.
Like, I've seen on average 5 to 8 different websites.
Yep.
And it really is getting to that lead quickly, guys. Like, that is it.
Yep.
Like, and that's what I think contributes to our 1 in 10.
Now we're talking, some people are talking in here about Facebook leads, and I love it. Isaac, you're putting some really good stats in the chat here. So guys, if you're watching the replay of this, make sure you go into the chat too, because it's not in the comment section. So it's really good. 1 to 25 leads.
That honestly
for Facebook tracks.
That tracks. That's pretty good, because Facebook, I've noticed, and this is just from industry knowledge and all that stuff, it's probably in that 2 to 3x return mark. Whereas if you look at Google and Facebook, we're at like a 5.8x return, and that's because people are actively searching, right? Whereas Facebook, it's disruptive, and so
But again, it goes into the more leads you put in the top of your funnel for your team and for yourself that are not quality hides the best leads, guys.
100%.
I'm telling you, I think Facebook is a great way. If you have a smaller budget, it's a great way to get in. It's a great way to, really build your chops of these incoming leads, right? Because you'll get a lot more leads for sure.
100%.
He's talking $30 to $50 a lead, which totally agree. Until Meta changes their algorithm.
No, literally.
Which happens all the time.
I think it happens more than it does on Google. Because
way more. Oh my gosh.
A big change just happened.
Yep.
Like a week ago.
Yep.
And so it's one of those things where I was like, do you want to do disruptive and pay the money to learn how to follow up with these leads? I think it's a smart play.
Yep.
Or do you, if you're ready, get into Google PPC, where they're for sure ready because they're typing in Google sell my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the important part. There is the quality is way different.
Awesome.
Way different.
Awesome.
Cool.
Jesse, you're incredible.
You're the man.
Are you going to throw the darts?
Do you want me to?
Yes.
I haven't thrown darts in like 10 years.
Perfect. Guys, do you guys want to throw? We're going to do our giveaway, guys. We're giving away a hat, a t-shirt, a hoodie to our audience. You have to be a subscriber to the channel. So if you're not already a subscriber, make sure that you subscribe. But this is a fun game that we do 3 times during this show, where we're going to throw a bunch of darts at this. Go ahead and pan it over here. We're going to throw a bunch of darts at this. There you go. At here, the top row is going to be the hat. We only have 1 hat left. We just ordered some new ones. Middle row is going to be the shirt, and bottom row is going to be the hoodie.
Okay.
What are you going for, Jesse?
I'm going to go for yellow.
You're going to go for the hoodie?
I'm going to go for the hoodie.
Literally the one you're wearing right now.
Yeah, literally.
Guys, give it up for Jesse, and he's going to give somebody a hoodie right away. Let's pan it over to him, and let's get this thing going.
Luke, if I break, I don't know if you're looking at me yet. If I break your window, I'm so sorry.
We've got the hat.
Oh.
We've got the shirt. Classic TTP shirt. Wear this anywhere. Somebody's going to go, what's up, TTP? I love it. You do real estate? We've got the Rhino hoodie. Boom. We've got Jesse, who hasn't thrown a dart in 10 years. We're going to put the mic up to him so that he can. All right.
All right. Here we go.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Oh,
am I in the way? Yes. Sorry. Here we go.
Oh,
Get it. Come on. Give him some love.
Hey, baby, let's go.
Awesome.
Ready for you guys. Let's go.
Absolutely. There you go. You've got a hoodie. Absolutely incredible. There you go.
Awesome.
Hoodie for somebody in the chat for participating. Guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here on a Wednesday. This business has given me so much that this is my form of giving back. And I love it. You know, people ask why do people coach or teach or do YouTube channels? I am certainly not a YouTuber. I am a real estate entrepreneur. I am my team wishes I was a YouTuber probably because we'd have a lot bigger channel. But I'm a real estate guy, and this is my form of giving back. And I think it's just so important to remove the barriers that I experienced when I was getting started, to get rid of the fluff, to get rid of the personal agendas, to get rid of the stuff and just show you what has worked for our business, what has worked for people in other markets. I've personally coached over 3,500 real estate entrepreneurs. They're all in my phone. And it's one of the greatest gifts of my life to be able to come on here and share this with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. Looks like we have some celebrations and some questions. So Skylar, let's go. Do you have a bell close? My third deal in 2 weeks, $13,000 assignment. Come on, brother. I love it. Congratulations, Skylar. That is fantastic. I don't know the stats. If somebody can look up the stats, that'd be amazing. Maybe Alejandro or Matt or somebody can look up the stats of how many people in their lives get a 5-figure check. I'd be really curious to know how many people get a 5-figure check in their life. That I'm telling you, it can't be huge. I'll tell you that right now. Another one from Skylar here. He's got a question following up. I've been doing Jamil's method and have been closing deals on pocket listings. Fantastic. When should I start pivoting into direct to seller? I'm still part-time and budget is about $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Great question. Listen, stick with what works. Okay. Stick with what works. Stay in there. As long as you are talking to people, TTP, baby. TTP. As long as you are talking to people, I don't care who it is. If you're getting deals from agents, fantastic. I've coached that since 2016. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing that since 2004. So yeah, get deals from agents, build those relationships. Now, if you're running into, a ceiling and you're not getting to the point where you feel like the deals are big enough, the income isn't big enough, or you're not doing enough deals to really quit your full-time job, go into this business full-time, start hiring really great talent, then start going direct to seller. And I would highly suggest that you use, here, I'll share this because we'll get into this now. We'll get into, Deal Machine, right? I would highly suggest, guys, you get into and use Deal Machine, dealmachine.com. Make sure you use that coupon code TTP because they hook you up. But guys, this tool is phenomenal. I mean, one, it's an app. It's literally an app that has all the property data throughout the whole country. So as you're driving around and maybe you're dropping off kids, maybe you're driving to your work. Maybe you're an Uber or Lyft driver. Maybe you just drive for a living. Maybe it's FedEx. Maybe it's you're a truck driver, whatever it is. You're probably not on too many neighborhood streets. But if you're driving around and you see an ugly house, you pull up your app, you click a button, and you've got all the information saved for a property that 100% is going to have to sell to a cash buyer. Because again, if the property is in too rough a condition, banks won't take the risk. They won't get conventional financing on it. They have to sell to an investor. And so Deal Machine is bananas. The other thing that I really like, and people really sleep on some of the tools on Deal Machine, but this little purple button here is their AI that's built into it. Like, look how crazy this is. This knows who I am. It knows all these things. It goes, how about analyze this property? What kind of investment strategy? I want wholesaling. Oh, okay. based on this, your max allowable offer. Look at this. Here it is. And maybe this one's negative because it doesn't have enough equity or whatever else. But it'll tell you here. It'll run it in real time and give you an idea. Now, should you learn how to comp? Yes. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. No way. But it's a really great opportunity to get a kind of broad stroke on what it is. And the beautiful thing is you can train this AI based on the way that you want to see the results. So if, training it myself, I would say, okay, listen, I want you to find the Zestimate. Go to Zillow, get the Zestimate for this. And I want you to go, and I'll show you the calculations in a second. If it's above 250,000, I want 50%. If it's between 250,000 and 100,000, I want 35%. If it's below 100,000, I want 10%. You could do that. You could train this whole thing. It's bananas, right? Not only that, but it just, the other thing that Deal Machine does, the Deal Machine literally pays for itself because you get free skip tracing. I mean, I think with the middle package, and I don't remember what it cost. Somebody could put it in the chat. With the middle package, and it's probably like $150, you get like 10,000 free skip traces. And they're pretty good. I mean, before I would, for years, I had railed, do not get cheap skip tracing. Do not go with anything that's cheap. Data costs money. The best data costs money. Deal Machine's like, you know what? Yeah, it costs money. It's on us, though. We're going to take that. And now the information's kind of been commoditized. And so it's a race to the bottom, and they found it. Free skip tracing, which is really good. And so dealmachine.com, coupon code TTP, and they hook you up, and it's just a phenomenal tool. Not only that, but one thing that I really think is cool is you can get in here and you could do different filters, these quick filters, and you could look at all of the, let's say, absentee owner properties. And I don't even know what market I'm in right now. And it'll show up on here. It'll show you, it'll start highlighting, and you'll see here. Hold on. Let me zoom in a little bit. It'll start showing you the absentee owner properties. And then you just start driving around. I don't know how long this map takes to upload, but look at this. And then you just start clicking around to all these absentee owners and all the other quick filters. And then what you can do is you can virtually drive for dollars. Rafael Cortez in the house. You could literally virtually drive for dollars and start adding these properties to your list, and then just reach out to these guys. Direct mail, cold call, text message, all those things, and you get their phone numbers. And what I like about the app, just kind of switching tracks here, but the app for Deal Machine is you can stop screen share. You can instantly get the phone number and call them when you're in front of the house. One thing that was a big mistake that I made early on in my career is I was like, I'm going to go get all of the information, and then I'm going to sit down somewhere quiet in my office. I'm going to listen to Tony Robbins. I'm going to listen to Les Brown. I'm going to listen to all these guys, get totally psyched up, and then I'm going to make my calls, right? And it would just be like this endless loop where I was like, all the creative avoidance starts creeping in. I'm like, I'll make the calls in a second. I gotta, let me look at what's going on. How much equity do they have? What do they owe in this property? Doing all this research before I ever find out if they want to sell their property. Don't do that. It's a huge mistake. All right. Just boom. You see a motivated property, you pull a list and it shows motivation. You see a rough looking property, call them right away. You have 3 seconds to call. 1, 2, 3, boom. But Brent, I don't know what to say. Say hello. It's going to be better than if you just try to psych yourself up to do this, right? Remove all the barriers to income producing activities. And that's what Deal Machine does with their app. It's absolutely incredible, right? Guys, RJ Bates will be here in 15 minutes, the King Closer. That'll be a lot of fun. He's going to be talking about what he's got going on, where he's getting his leads, how he's closing those, doing it all virtually. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. We're going to have a lot of fun with RJ. Rafael Cortez, how are you?
What's up? I'm good, man. Glad to be here like every Wednesday. What's up, fam? You are absolutely right, man, about creative avoidance. Your creative avoidance was more productive than mine, though. I used to like start cleaning up like the desk and the windows, just to get psyched up and ready to call. Like, no, it's a waste of time. You got to jump right in there.
Sorry, RJ is texting me. Did I miss our time slot? Thought it was 2:15. RJ, in 15 minutes. Maybe I don't understand what time zone you're at, brother. So hopefully he's able to jump in here. We got Rich Wonders at the top of the hour at noon our time, which will be 3 East Coast time. Absolutely incredible. He is the king of novations, the Novation king. Absolutely incredible. And so, yeah, what tools are you using? I've got a couple more here, guys. I'm gonna show you, and we'll get into it. But what are you using?
We develop in-house software for door knocking. Yeah, it's one of the softwares. I mean, door knocking. I mean, the strategy as a whole, right? It's one of the biggest ones.
Yeah,
you can very well do it through Deal Machine. There's only a few things that we decided to go with as far as the speed of the data. That give us a slight advantage, but aside from that, I mean, you have all the features and routing and all that stuff that you need really to start getting going. But we have that.
Do you have that open to the public, or are you just
no? It's got too many bugs in it.
Yeah,
still, yeah. So it's I don't know. We may open it up, but right now we just we have it for in-house, and we're doing pretty good on it. And then I mean, the Podio's been like my baby since like 2014. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not Salesforce?
I played around with it. I think at this point I'm just so versed in it that I mean, if we need an automation, something, whatever, I can just roll it into the system. The process, it just becomes a second nature after a while. But reliability is there, and I mean, I think they're both like right along the same lines as far as difficulty.
Yeah.
So I mean, I picked Beast A.
Yeah, sure.
So
got it.
Yeah, ran with it.
You speak that language. Got it, guys.
Yeah, I speak
RealSupermarket.com, guys. RealSupermarket.com. This has been a game changer. These are the guys that sell all the data to the other guys that charge you 50% more. I'm just telling you. All the probate inherited, all those code violations, foreclosures inherited, tax liens. Everybody buys their data from this company. It's shocking how many people buy their data from this company. I had no idea. What a smart idea. Go to this company and go, hey, listen, can we white label your data? And they go, yeah, no problem. And then they go, okay, great. And then they charge everybody else 50% more.
The uptick. Yeah.
I'm just telling you guys, this is a really great resource for these specific lists, and it's not like a subscription basis. For a subscription basis, I would highly suggest you go to flipfinder.ai. Flipfinder.ai. Let me share this right here. This one is absolutely bananas because of the AI scores. The AI scores are taken all of the past data from the sales of cash sales of investment properties with the demographics of the property owners. Absolutely bananas. Get it. You get 5 zip codes with the basic package, and you can upgrade to the moon. You can get the whole nation if you want. It's absolutely, and we have that. We've got it for our whole state, not the, we might have bought the nation. Might have bought the nation. Anyway, absolutely incredible. Flipfinder.ai. Boom. And then we mentioned it before, and I want to mention again, if you are ready to get your PPC audited or you're ready to start your PPC, come talk to us. Talktopeople.com. So those are the 4 tools for our tools section of our show. And that's going to be realsupermarket.com, talktopeople.com, flipfinder.ai, and then, of course, our friends over there at dealmachine.com. Use the coupon code TTP for Real Supermarket for Deal Machine. The other 2, rock and roll. All right? Awesome. So, Raph, how many deals are you doing this month? What are we doing?
We have 24 on the board.
What?
24.
Come on.
Yes.
Why are you stealing all the deals?
I bought 2 flips here in town. Yeah. So flipping 2 here in town.
Why would you go through all that brain damage?
They're wholetails. They're easy lipstick.
Nice.
Type
Dude, I just went through the whole wholesale start.
Okay,
bro.
right on.
I
Yeah,
just
so
went
that's
through all of
perfect.
it with the expected costs, with the title. And so let me ask you this: with your wholesale, who's funding the purchase?
We have private money funding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
the whole thing, you're not getting hard money?
right. The whole thing.
So what's your deal with your private money lenders, your PMLs?
It's at 10%.
10% interest.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Is it rolled into the deal or are you paying monthly?
Yeah. No, it's rolled into a deal, get paid at the end. It's just a good relationship at this point. So,
Right.
So
who's this money person?
It's hard to say no. It's actually a friend of mine. He's got loads of cash.
How much cash does he have?
I think he's got a couple extra mil somewhere laying around.
He's got a couple extra mil.
Yeah, a couple extra
he wants 10%.
Yeah.
How do you know your friend?
We've worked deals in the past. I mean, I've known him for the last maybe, I don't know, 5-8 years.
Did you see your business card there?
Did it what?
Matt, did you put the business card back out?
No, is it here?
Jeez Louise. I had your old business card out.
My old business card?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Raphael was the acquisition manager for Sean Terry.
Yeah.
Sean Terry, yeah, for years and years. And I would go when I was going on appointments, I'd always be like 10 minutes after Raphael. And I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. This guy's everywhere. And he was. But doing so many deals, you build relationships.
Yeah.
And so with relationships with people that have money, the interesting thing, this is what I found very interesting. And this is with friends that I have that want to lend money to me and my company, is they exit out of a business. They're bored.
Right.
So they go, oh, flipping houses seems cool. I've seen shows about that. Yeah. I understand what's going on here, but I don't want to swing a hammer.
Yeah.
I don't want to flip them myself. Do you need any money?
Can you do it for me and pay me 10%? Yeah. And there's really,
but obviously that's because you and your family, you come from a very, very, very wealthy family. They've always been wealthy. You've always had a silver spoon in your mouth.
We had the best mobile home in the whole block.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, you could say, listen, that's the beautiful thing about this business. If you have hustle in this business and you find deals, you build relationships with millionaires.
Absolutely.
You build relationships with millionaires because they love the hustle and they want to lend money on things that are safe.
Yeah.
And they're worried about things. They're worried about gold. They're worried about precious metals. They're worried about crypto. They're worried about the stock market. They're worried about all those things. There's your business card.
There it is. There it is.
Yep.
It's proof. I gave you, this was my last card.
I know.
I found my last card and it was a gift to you. I gave you my last card.
That's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I don't have a business card.
Yeah.
I haven't had a business card.
I think this was my last business card. I haven't had a business card since this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Terry's doing amazing things. He does pay-per-click.
Yeah.
Big on pay-per-click, of course. That's where everybody goes. And he does a bunch of novations in the middle of nowhere.
Novations. He started doing deal syndication. I mean, it's just that's the thing, right? Like one door opens up, another one after that. So you see one opportunity now, and it's not the whole sphere. Like there's going to be something there afterwards. But yeah, I mean, deals are out there, opportunities are out there, pivots are out there. Just got to take that first step, man. I mean, Tom Kroll says it best, right? Massive imperfect action is where it's at.
That's it.
Without that stuff, nothing else moves.
That's it. Edwin, don't worry. We're going to be showing off our shoe game. I love what Raphael's wearing today. Classic. We'll wait until we get on the scale. Every show, Raphael and I kind of have a meathead moment, which I think is important to talk about what we're doing, from a fitness standpoint. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but we're meatheads. We love the gym. We love throwing around some metal. And whether you're a runner or do yoga, or you like hiking, or you like, just whatever movement, we encourage you. We just like throwing around some metal. You know what I'm saying? It's almost summertime.
Happy. Yeah, exactly.
We're trying to get you. Well, Raphael's always shredded. I'm trying to get down to between 190 and 200. Last week I was at 211.6. So we'll see where we're at this week. But just little bit by little bit, and just encourage everybody. We'll tell you what we've got going with the training and workouts that we're doing. If you want to, implement that into your routine, rock and roll. So 24 deals, 2 flips. The other 22, are they from door knocking?
Not all of them. PPC or some.
man.
And then I have PPC and door knocking primarily. Some cold calling. We still have a couple cold calling campaigns going on.
So you are door knocking pre-foreclosures in Florida,
Right.
not
And-
here.
Yeah, no, not here. And Texas and
Why not here?
Indianapolis. It's just, I mean, it's a competitive market, and if we get, like, for example, we roll out a team, then yeah, I mean, we're gonna go out there. But right now, just the team we have is solid. We've had a few people hop on and then hop off. It's not the easiest thing, right, to door knock. So
Right.
so just the stability of the team is not there. And really, I mean, we just haven't been intentional about building that in town. I mean, it's just it's going well with the other stuff. Take it, flip it. And once you have that like framework for virtual stuff, dude, it's just easier deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
How big are the deals? Do you have a kind of average deal size?
Right now, our average is $32K.
Oh my gosh.
32K.
What are you doing?
Same thing, a signing, double closing. Well, not double closing, actually. We take them down either if it's a bigger spread.
Yeah.
But $32,000 assignments, we're doing that.
So the conversation I had early on was when you assign a deal, you lose control.
Yeah.
And when you lose control, you need to have more. There's more damage that can be done with your cash buyers not closing on time, trying to get too many people into it, reselling the property to somebody else. You know what I mean? Not closing, all of these things, right? And to really grow to where you're doing, 100, 200, 300 deals a year, you need to have more controls, which is more processes, which is your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah.
And so do you see a time where you're going to do more wholetailing than wholesaling? Because it costs more.
Yeah, it does cost more. I mean, if the
profits are way smaller, but smaller.
If the opportunity is there to do a decent, and double the profits on a wholesale deal, then yeah, we'll take it. Other than that, I mean, I don't get greedy. You know what I mean with the squeezing every single cent out of every deal. It's more about the turnout. Like how fast can I turn these deals? And we do have some checks and balances in place. For example, like when people start asking us for walkthroughs and all, kinds of stuff.
Yep.
If we don't know the buyer, we haven't. And at this point, we have a lot of relationships with buyers. But if we don't know somebody new and whatnot, we haven't vetted them yet. They do EMD before we grant the walkthrough. So EMD, it's refundable up until the point of the walkthrough, but it kind of screens out. So if you have 10 people asking you for, silly walkthroughs,
right,
one of those, people is going to drop the EMD. And so we go with that one. And it just, it gives, there's ways to mitigate it, I guess. You can't really, put full controls on
yeah, but even
EMD,
EMD has its games within games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. With some people, it's like, yeah. I'm ready. Send me the assignment. I'm gonna deposit the earnest money, and then they take that few hours.
Oh yeah.
To try to reach out to buyers that they know in there to assign it to somebody else without putting their own earnest.
We keep marketing.
You know what I mean?
EMD is in escrow and we have a confirmation for it.
Well, make sure that your assignment agreement has language that if that EMD is not in within a specific time, and I highly suggest if you blast it out in the morning or if you get a commitment before noon, it needs to be in before end of business day that day.
Right.
And then if not, if it's in the afternoon that you sell it, it needs to be in before noon the next day. Yeah. Even then, Raph, you and I know those wholesalers that are moving and shaking out there, hustling, they'll buy themselves some time. No, I'm going. I just see something happened. I'm wiring it in. The wire didn't go through. Something happened to my internet. I'm driving there right now. All of these things as they're, speaking out of their other side of their mouth, they're selling it to somebody else, which is fine as long as they do.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes when you're working with people that you haven't worked with before that are playing that game, they stretch it out. They don't do the deal. They can't sell it, never put it in earnest, and you have to keep marketing.
And
so it's really smart.
Yeah. And it happens, you'll get that type of a dude out there. But yeah, I mean, when something is big, like if the spreads are big, we'll just take it down. I'd rather pay, some fees on private money and take the deal down and have full control of it.
I think I think as we grow and as I'm looking at some of these bigger companies here locally that are doing $10-15 million, they're selling to a select buyers that they really, really, really trust and know that it's going to be smooth, or they close on it and wholesale them.
Yeah.
Yep. Guys, are you ready? Are you freaking ready?
Woohoo.
Nobody has more belts than this guy. Nobody has more protein
belts.
growing out of their face in the form of a beard. Nobody is closing more deals virtually or over the phone than this guy. He is the king of closing. It is my pleasure to introduce our good friend and a friend to the channel, RJ Bates III. RJ, how are you, brother?
What's going on, guys? Excited to be here.
Oh,
Welcome. We've got
Good to see you, man.
we got a hot 15 minutes with you, RJ, because we know you need to go back and either close deals or get the team to close some deals. So, what's working right now? How was your first quarter, and what's working right now?
Dude, I think I keep saying this. I think we're in the golden age of wholesaling.
I agree.
I think this is the best time that wholesaling's ever had. And I talk about this because the systems, the technology, everything has gotten better than when we got started a decade ago.
For sure.
What's working for us? PPL.
Yep.
PPL across the United States. Listen, 4 years ago, I was the guy going live every day, getting my teeth kicked in, having to send out mass text messages. All the reels that you guys saw. Hello, this is RJ. And then people saying, how'd you get my information? And then cussing me out because I text their wife, and all the crazy stuff that went on there. We don't have that anymore. Nowadays, it's just hot lead comes in and you're able to sit back, be the buyer, ask solid questions, and get great deals.
Awesome. So let's talk about, so guys, what PPL stands for is pay per lead. Just put out a podcast with Gene with iSpeed to Lead. They spend a tremendous amount really trying to get the absolute best deals. We got Lead Zolo. I know that you work with those guys, RJ, or have at least in the past, and they did a great job for the Closers Olympics, loading everybody up with leads. PPL is kind of getting a punch in the face on social media now, saying, oh, it's too congested, too many people are talking about it, the costs are going too big, or it's just not what it used to be. What's your take on that? Is there a certain strategy that works over others? Is it better for smaller markets versus bigger markets? What's the best way to kind of put that together?
Listen, everybody has got their own form of marketing, right? Yep. Everybody's got their own little affiliate links for different things that they're trying to push. Okay. PPL's working. I went 2 weeks ago. I went live for 90 minutes with a new service for us. At least it was property leads. They gave me 30 leads. Out of those 30 leads, I had 13 conversations and 3 signed contracts, and one is already assigned for $60,000.
Awesome.
Wow.
So,
what was this company?
Property leads.
Oh yeah.
So $3,000 investment.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 more deals to dispo and a $60,000 assignment already. And I have 27 other leads to follow up with.
I love it. Yeah. Property leads. We use property leads here in Phoenix. We dominate Phoenix. We haven't done a tremendous amount, but I feel like, just having conversations with them, the volume of leads in our area isn't as high as some areas. So it's kind of like, test it out and do what you can. But these leads that you're getting, are they smaller markets?
So full nationwide.
Okay. Right.
But the closed deal, like one of the closed deals was in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Awesome.
Great market, right?
Yeah.
I had other leads in other major cities. But this is the blend of, when I talk about the golden age of wholesaling, it's not just on the lead generation side. It's also now the fact that we have a tool like Investor Lift.
Yep.
That I use just as much for acquisitions as I use for dispositions, because when I'm doing acquisitions, a lead comes in. First thing I'm doing is I'm dropping that address in the Google Street View to see, okay, what am I buying? Second move, go in Investor Lift. How many buyers do I have? If I've got more than 2,000 buyers in the city, I'm closing the deal. And from that perspective, that's why I think we're in a better spot than we've ever been. I don't believe that PPL is meant to be in a specific. Brent, you and I had this conversation just a couple of months ago. You were talking about expanding to a new market, and I said, don't be city specific. Open it up. Be
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6 different counties around those, because if you're wanting to look at, hey, I want to do deals in Dallas, Texas, well, guess what? You're not going to be getting Plano, Texas. And that's a bigger market than Dallas, right? You get a deal in Plano, it's going, you're going to have buyers jumping down your throats to get that. I heard you guys talking about EMD. They'll be sending you an EMD before you can even answer that second phone call. Right. So you're not going to get that if you're specific to just one city. So I think opening it up, and listen, we're in a time and age now where the technology has allowed us to be completely virtual, and really you don't have to be specific to one market. You guys know that about me. I'm the 50 states completely virtual guy. I think that everybody should look at expanding and utilizing the technology that's available to us.
Are you still doing flips in other states like you were in the past? I mean, I remember you doing flips in Hawaii.
Smart man.
Yeah.
No, man. That was my downfall story. You know, we all have to have that story that we tell as entrepreneurs.
Hero's journey, bro. Hero's journey.
Yeah. You know, we all have to tell the story about how we made mistakes. That was our mistake, right? I thought because we were a good wholesaler, that meant we would be a good flipper and a good landlord. And now this little guy right behind me, this hedgehog, he sits behind me every day to remind myself of my hedgehog concept is I'm a nationwide virtual wholesaler.
Yeah.
That's what we're focused on. And you have to embrace no in all things as an entrepreneur. So for me, it's, hey, I don't care. I use the analogy. Keegley sent me a text the other day. And the text said, we've got this great flip one street over from where you bought a deal, and it's got $250,000 profit in it. 2019, RJ is getting in the car. He's wasting 3 hours. He's going over there. He's probably wiring $5,000 EMD, and he's buying that property. Today, I don't even think 5 seconds about it. It's nope. It's not what we're doing.
Love it. Listen, that's part of it, right? That's part of understanding what business are we running. And the start of the show, RJ, I said, listen, if you're wholesaling, we're a marketing business.
Yep.
We're not real estate investors. We are a marketing business. We find opportunities for other investors, but we're not taking them down. We're not taking title. We're not flipping them. We're not putting them in our portfolio. We are the marketing arm for these other companies that are going to go and do all of those things. Now, can you do it all? Can you have a company where you find the deals and you flip the deals and you add to your portfolio and all that? Yes. But guess what? It's 3 different companies.
Yep.
At least 3 different divisions. If you want to,
sure.
say it's under the same umbrella, but like, don't try to do it all. I'm just telling you, like, if you're starting out, pick a lane. If you want to flip, great. You want to add to your portfolio, do that. Great. Stay at your 9 to 5 and do your job and build your portfolio and do your thing. Great. If you want to do,
people ask me why I don't do novations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because Rich Wonders.
Yep.
And Eric Brewer, that's what they do. They're experts at that. I'm not.
He's on the show in an hour, bro.
I know. That's why I brought him up. I saw him over there. Hey, dude, I know how to do this over here, Brent. Come on. We're marketing experts, bro. I'm just marketing the end of the show for you.
I love it.
But no, I mean, I'm so focused that if I do have a great Novation deal, then I'm just going to reach out to Rich and be like, hey, let's JV this. You handle it. I don't want to have that broken focus.
Love it. That's the focus. That's the focus that you have. And I love that. So we have an interesting question from Edwin, but I think that you kind of answered it, but kind of didn't. The question is, love your RJ, love your content. I see you use multiple sites to comp. If you had to choose one, PropStream, Privy, etc., what would it be? It also sounds like, RJ, you're putting a lot of weight on Investor Lift.
Yeah.
Like, what are things selling for wholesale on Investor Lift in a certain area, right?
So from a comping software perspective, I'm going to say it's going to be PropStream number 1. Okay. Yep. And the reason why PropStream is going to be number 1 is because they have the least amount of faults. So if I get a vacant land lead, I can comp that on PropStream. I can't comp that on Privy. Right. If I get a row house, the $60,000 assignment in Daytona Beach was a condo. it was very easy for me to analyze that deal on PropStream, where it would have been extremely difficult on Batch or Privy. But I also use the analogy of, or the example of another deal during that live. I had to use Batch, Privy, and PropStream to get all the information. So I think if you can afford it, I mean, it's like what? We're talking about $300, $350 to have all three a month. You had to just pick one. It's going to be PropStream.
Awesome. And so when you're going nationwide, how are you hooking in with title companies and closing attorneys that understand what an assignment is?
Yeah. So we tried the nationwide companies. That unicorn does not exist. Okay.
Right.
We have found some that are good. Empora is great, but they're in like 6 or 7 different states.
Yep.
There's another one that we use. I think it's like blue something. They're okay. But for the most part, I mean, you're going to have to go find like the individual title company in Texas or in Arizona that you're going to use and establish a relationship. I mean, it's no different than finding a buyer. I mean, what's for us about dispositions is about creating relationships with your own buyers. It's the same thing with title companies. We have an entire PDF that we give out now of all the title companies that we've used in all 50 different states.
How can people get that, RJ?
It's on all my videos. You can go to the description. It's just titaniumu.com/markets.
Love it.
That's
and what's your YouTube channel, RJ?
Just my name. It's RJ Bates III.
Boom. Fantastic channel, guys. If you guys want to see it being done in real time, I mean, RJ's the best.
Thank you.
Who does it better than RJ?
Dude, this guy's a show. This guy's a show. You are a show.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
And
I do have a lot of fun with what we do. And you know what's funny about you saying that, man, is I think at some point in time, some people have lost the desire to do real estate. When they start creating content, it's a lot of pressure to come up with a valuable 30-minute YouTube video about how to do this business. And sometimes it's like
Luke, my YouTube guy's like shaking his head like, yeah.
I mean, it's like you'll sit there and it's like, what have we not already talked about a million times? And so sometimes for me, it's like, let's just forget coming up with it. Let's fire up the camera and let's talk to sellers and let's have fun doing this. And get back to the passion of this business. A lot of us at one point in time, we begged for the opportunity that we have right now in front of us to be able to make the money. We were like, dude, if I could just get one of these deals, my life would be changed. And now we have the chance because we've earned it. But also, I mean, sometimes we forget about the opportunity that exists in front of us.
100%. So what does your team look like now, RJ?
Man, we're lean and mean over here. We're down to 7 people total plus VAs. And then we've got the education company on top of that. But man, my average age of my team members is 21 years old. Dude, I have so much fun. It's inspiring to see them come in and handle business. He's 22 years old. He's been with us for 3 years. He's been with us since he's 19. He's done deals now in 35 different states. And to hear him talk to sellers and buyers and see the passion that he has for this industry. And then because he's young, I mean, I saw some comments about weight loss and stuff like that in the live chat over here. These guys inspired me. They're going working out every day. And I'm like, dude, I got to get back into this.
You're looking great. How much are you down?
I'm down 16 pounds, but I'm telling you right now, I've gained a lot of muscle in there too. So I'm going to catch up to you on the bicep thing. That's my goal.
Bro, listen to me. We do a part of the show right after this, okay, called the Meathead Moment. And Raphael and I weigh ourselves. with a scale here, right? And this is we show it, show our workout, show the whole thing. People go in here and they're commenting what they've got going on. I mean, it's important, right? I mean, as an entrepreneur, we often find that like it's the last thing that we're like, oh, I'm going to be running 1,000,000 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you get sick. All of a sudden you get burnt out. All of a sudden you don't have that endurance that you had after 6 months of talking to 40 people a day type of thing. You need to get your fitness up. You need to get that endurance
vehicle, man.
for sure. Wouldn't you agree?
Dude, I cannot agree more. And you know what is people always say it's like you don't know how much pain you're in or how much energy you're lacking until you start making changes in your life. And then I don't even know how I was functional. But for me, funny enough, I have to say 2 things actually really changed that for me. One, creating content. I went and I filmed a series of reels at Pat Hilton's studio.
Yep.
And I started posting them. And every single video kept getting comments where they were like, why would I listen to this fat ass? Like, look at this dude. Like, he's so out of shape. His face is so swollen. And I was like, you know what? They're right.
But that's still mean.
I'm gonna take away the excuse for them not to listen to me. So I started responding to each one of them. I said, all right, how about this? I can lose weight.
Yeah.
Can you change your perspective to actually listen to the value that I'm going to bring to your life? And that was my response. And now all of a sudden the comments have changed to, dude, RJ, you're starting to look athletic. Hey, dude, you're starting to get pretty jacked. And that was one thing. And then the other thing was Cassie had a lot of issues with her back and her knee. So much so we had a 2-day event where the majority of the event she had to sit down.
Sure.
I was like, all right, we've got to make changes. Like we're way too important to our community, to our families, to ourselves to not be taking care of that. And dude, it's the best decision that we've ever made.
Love it. Where can they get that national or the title friendly
I'll
companies?
drop it in the chat for everybody so they can download it.
Guys, if you're watching the replay of this, get into the chat, not the comments section. Certainly give us some comments in the comments section if you're enjoying this and watching this afterwards. That really helps out. We respond to those comments, but YouTube looks at it and they're like, oh, people actually like this content, and they show it to more people, and more people out there get the benefit of it. And it just, the more you give, the more you get. So I encourage you to do a little bit today. Take the 45 seconds to do that in the comments section. But RJ, absolutely incredible. He's doing deals throughout the country, doing it all virtually, doing it all from, it sounds like inbound leads. I mean, I don't think that you're not doing cold calls and texts and all that. You're getting all inbound, converting those inbound and then selling them throughout the country.
Yeah, inbound is pretty much taken over. I mean,
it's the best. It's like
we get
now
leads
business,
every day.
right?
Property leads, Leadzolo, Speed to Lead. They're all great companies. People ask me all the time, which one should I choose? And I'm like, why? Why would you choose one?
Yep.
Hey, if you got $6,000, give 2 to Gene, give 2 to Drew, and give 2 to Alex, and let's go, baby. Like, get the leads coming in, and you can pick and choose which one you like. The KPIs are almost identical across the board with all of them.
Interesting.
I mean, there's not, and the people, going back to your question there, where people have kind of been kicking the teeth in on PPL, man.
Yep.
I'll just be honest with you. I just think it's because of a couple of things. I think one, their closing process sucks.
Yep.
They need to come learn from me. Like, if you think PPL doesn't work, then I'm sorry, you just can't close. And then two, I saw some people talking about they're spending like $200 to $500 per lead. You don't have to do that.
Right.
Speed of Lead has a coupon club. You can buy leads for $29 a pop. I mean, property leads nationwide, we can get them on average for $55 a pop. I mean, it's just not don't let people scare you away from the golden egg. Okay.
Yep. I have this here, and you could see it's all the different kind of marketing channels and blueprints, direct mail, referrals, calling and texting, hiring VAs to do some of that, pay-per-click and PPL. And I say, if you don't have experience in closing deals, you're just going to throw your money away. You know what I mean? You're just going to throw your money away. Go to RJ's channel, learn how he does it. He's literally showing you. I feel everybody learns a lot faster if they can actually see somebody doing it, right? And get the chops, build up your the amount of conversations that you've had with property owners, and understand that there's a process to getting those leads in. And the more experience you have, the more you're going to make from pay per lead, for sure. Sure. But I think that's what it is, RJ. And I also think people are like, oh, nobody knew about pay-per lead, a couple of years ago, but now people do. And now I can't get leads for, $47. Now they're $97 and they're, just griping, to be honest.
Hey, here, Brent, let me say something about it. I love the fact that people say no one knew about PPL a couple of years ago. When I won the 2021 Closers Olympics, went live with Speed to Lead the week after.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing lives with Speed to Lead for 3 years now.
I know.
Here's the thing. We didn't call it PPL. I don't know where all of a sudden PPL came from. I just called it Speed to Lead. I don't know if that was always the term or what. It just wasn't. I didn't call it that. And the thing about it is it's always worked. And I love seeing on here, like John Johnson just say he spent $3,500 of property leads and it already has 16,000 in the pipeline.
Yep.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah. Well, Kyle Bigger was one of my first students back in 2017 or 18, and he owns that company. And so we've got a great relationship with him and in the Rhino tribe, and people have been just taking advantage of it. And you listen, it's an auction system. You get into a certain market, and whoever's paying the most is going to get those leads. But the interesting thing, and what a lot of the PPL companies don't tell you, is they share a lot of leads. They'll buy each other's leads and then sell each other's leads. And I think the biggest marketplace is iSpeed to Lead and property leads by far.
Yeah. It was funny, man. I saw a post on social media this weekend where someone said PPL doesn't work, it's dead. Yeah. And then someone asked them, well, what are you doing? And they said PPC. And I literally was laughing so hard I was crying. I was like, this is like saying cold calling doesn't work. I just call people off of a list and buy their houses. It's like the same thing. What are you talking about?
Think PPL comes from?
Yeah, it's the same. That is pay-per-click. Yeah. Well, listen, it's pay-per lead. Typically, those guys are really good at SEO, which is search engine optimization. They get ranked pretty high. They also spend some money on pay-per-click and then just sell those leads. So it's just like it's like that meme where it's like they pull off the mask and it's still the same face underneath type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's it's just everything, rolled into one. You have the budget and the management rolled into that one, and then you pay for that lead, but it's still, the same.
RJ, when are you going live this week?
I went live yesterday. I got a podcast coming out. Dude, I literally, my goal in 2024, by the way, Brent, you're in my crosshairs, just so you know.
I'm ready, bro.
All right. So my goal is I'm releasing a long form video every single day of the year in 2024.
Cool.
And when I say you're in my crosshairs, it means you're the next one I'm chasing. You have like 6 point something million views. I'm at 3.4.
Yeah.
So my goal is to eventually catch you.
Awesome.
So I'm chasing you two ways, in curls and in views.
Let's
Can
go,
I get
bro.
my biceps and my YouTube channel to your level?
I can feel your whiskers on my neck, bro.
Only in Fresno. You said what happens in Fresno stays in Fresno.
That's right.
Why are you sharing that?
That's right. So do you go live Tuesdays then?
Yeah, every Tuesday, 2:22 Central Time. Normally it's about some sort of foundational element to wholesaling. Awesome. Like yesterday, he was talking about, hey, how to remove the roller coaster effect of virtual wholesaling, right? How do you keep your bank account going like this, not like this, right? Awesome. Every day something comes out. I'm not doing as many lives on seller calls. Yeah. Those are probably like once or twice a month.
Yeah, but you have like 1,000 of them. So guys, go watch the replays. Yeah. You know what I mean? Patrick asked, last question here, RJ. How do you comp in Texas without the MLS?
Privy or Propelio. Those are going to be the two systems right there that have MLS access in Texas. If you don't want to sign up for a service, you could use something like Zillow, right? You can go in, you can see what the property was listed for and assume that it probably sold right there. But Privy, Propelio, both of those have MLS access in Texas.
Awesome. RJ,
Sweet.
you're the best. Thanks for being on here, brother. Guys, give RJ some love. Make sure that you go and subscribe to his YouTube channel and give him some views. And he's got a tremendous amount of resources at Titanium U?
Yep, titaniumu.com. Also, just last thing I'll say is both of you guys, I love you. I love everything that you guys provide for the industry. And you guys are inspirations for me. So thank you for everything that you
love
do.
Love you, RJ. Thanks, brother.
Love you, bro.
See
Good to
you,
see you, man.
Have a great week. Awesome. RJ Bates, the king closer himself. Absolutely awesome.
You guys are beast.
Guys,
man.
it is time. We kind of warmed up the audience for the meathead moment, guys. Or Raphael, what are you doing?
Boom, boom, boom.
What are you doing workout wise this week, guys? This is a quick little segment. Don't lose interest here. We're going to get on this scale. Last week I weighed 211.6. The goal is between 190 and 200. It's a broad range, so I haven't decided. I don't know if I'm going to look like a skeleton at 190, to be honest, and I don't want to look like a
Feel
skeleton.
it out, bro. Feel
But it might be nice to get down to, like, you know, single days, Brent. You know, maybe some GTL, some gym tan laundry. You know what I'm saying? For the older crew that watched Jersey Shore. You know what it's about. I got a spray tan for Cabo, so I might be a little bit heavier because I went to Cabo. I don't know. We'll see. But Raphael, what are you doing this week for fitness?
Actually rolled in yoga.
It's great,
bro. It's
phenomenal.
Yes.
Yep.
Anybody who's really good at yoga out there, my biggest respect.
What'd you weigh last week?
I think I was at 174. I want to hover around the 175 range.
Awesome.
Between
Awesome, guys. I think it's put in here.
It's a good.
This may or may not affect your chances to win the giveaways: a hoodie, a hat, or a shirt. If you can guess who's closest to Raphael's and my weight. Also, what shoes are you wearing? Let's pop those off. Let's see it. Let's do the shoe game here.
Keeping it. Wait, where am I at?
Take it off and show it. So he's got the. No, just take it off. So Raphael's got the Doc Martin classics, nice slip-ons. There you go. I'm wearing the blue bottomed Alexander McQueen's today because I'm 5'8.5", and this makes me like 5'10". Look at those heels. I mean, look at this. Look at this thing.
I mean,
you can see that they're well worn.
We got
these
there
for a while. These things are no joke. The Alexander McQueen's are I love these things.
I'm curious. Let's get some fire emojis here for the Doc Martens. Who still likes Doc Martens? I mean, I keep getting arguments
I love
these puppies.
Talk about you know, a boot that'll last a lifetime. Absolutely incredible. All right, let's go over to the scale and see what we got here. All right. 211.6 last week. Are we down here? Do you got it? Here we go. I've got the gold toe black socks on. There we go. Boom. All right. About half a pound, even after vacation. So 210.8. Fantastic.
Really
there you go.
That is really good.
There we go. Boom.
I feel heavier this week.
Okay. Let's see what you got. Can you guys see?
No, they never will see the numbers because you have to be looking almost straight down.
Oh, we need a straight down camera then. All right. What'd you got?
Do I reset it?
Yeah, probably. There you go, guys.
You could, but then it was messing
Yeah.
up. They don't get to get a
178.
178 for Raph.
Last week was 174.
Bro, you are getting swole. This is going to be a hot boy summer for you, bro. That is all muscle for Raphael.
I am on a gains roll here, so.
So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I have a trainer, Johnny Mack, shout out at Lifetime Fitness at Biltmore. If you're in Phoenix, come join me, come say hello. I see a lot of people there, and a lot of people come up and say hello. So I'm the talk to people guy, so come talk to me. That's just an open invitation.
I'm gonna give you guys a hint. He's always wearing a TTP shirt.
That's it. No, I'm usually wearing a tank top and a rhino hat, the hat that we're about to give away. So yeah. I do like bodybuilding stuff Monday and Thursday. Tuesday's more of a AMRAP as many rounds as possible of anywhere from 4 to 6 exercises. Usually it's legs and cardio and that type of thing. I hate it. But something happens in your brain when you do stuff that you hate. This is science.
Yeah.
When you do stuff that you don't like, it actually like, it just makes you more efficient, makes your mind clear, whatever. Let's give away.
Highlighted.
Let's give away some, let's throw some darts and some balloons. I'm going to do it today, Raph. Or you,
No, go ahead.
We'll do it. What should we shoot for, guys? Should we shoot for a hat, a shirt, a hoodie? Right? We got the hat, the Rhino hat. We got the classic TTP shirt. We also have a Rhino shirt if you prefer. And then we've got the Rhino hoodie. We've already given away a hoodie. Jesse threw it. Let's see how many. Sometimes you had it first time. Sometimes you want me to go top shelf. Top shelf for the hat. We only have one hat left. This is an exclusive hat. Oh, man, that was terrible.
That was horrible. Almost as bad as me.
Oh. Boom. Took me 3. We'll give away another one. Go ahead, Raph. Raph's going to throw now. We'll give away another one. Let's get this thing going to everybody. Guys, thank you for participating in the show today. Thank you for sticking around for RJ Bates. We've got Rich Wonders, the Novation King, coming up in 14 minutes. Second shot. You're getting better, bro.
I am.
You're getting a lot better. It's just a little bit of practice there. There you go. Absolutely incredible. So let's give some celebrations here. Isaac just closed my 3rd last week. He also said had 14 contracts from Facebook ads. 2 actually closed. If I knew what I know now, probably would have been a lot better. Brother, that is a comment that'll stay around the rest of your life. But absolutely true. Come on.
Bam.
We are ringing the bell today. That is awesome. Raph, do you use PropStream?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what capacity?
Comping. I mean, we use it for foreclosure data all over the place. It's our go-to. I really love the linked properties feature they have in there.
Yeah.
So you look at a property and then you can see any other linked properties to that seller.
Yeah.
So we use that. Like if somebody's in pre-foreclosure, we'll take a look at their portfolio as well. So yeah, I do.
Awesome. No, I've switched over to flipfinder.ai, flipfinder.ai. So that's what I'm using for that. Although PropStream is fantastic. PropStream is a really great tool. So if you have it, it's really great. They just don't have the AI feature that's going to machine learn which properties are most likely to sell at a discount. So there you go. Next question from Patrick is, have you seen Max Maxwell's development, 45 unit community development in Africa? I have. I had, Max was just such a force a few years ago, especially on YouTube. And so, just coming up with ideas or just seeing what he's got going on. But obviously he sold his business and moved to Dubai and now is doing development in Africa. And it looks awesome. Scared to death for him. I'm scared to death for him, bro. I have seen more smart, rich people lose everything from development than anything else.
Development, man, it's tricky. Even single, try to build a house from the ground up, man. Like even that is in my head is daunting.
I think he's got the design. I think he's got the labor. I think he's got the support of the local community. I think he's got all of those things. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows what the costs go? Who knows what happens? I wish the absolute best for him. The best case scenario is he absolutely crushes it, becomes a huge big time developer and just goes into the stratosphere. But me, 20 years experience. I mean, we'll have Jared Vidalis on next week or the week after, and he's moved on to developments here in Phoenix.
Yeah, he's solid dude.
And even that, if you have conversations with him, it is sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Tremendous amount of red tape. Tremendous amount of, are these going to sell and what it's going to do and what's financing and what are the banks going to do and all those things. Just makes you makes you tighten up a little bit. You know what I mean? It makes things a little bit tightened, but it looks absolutely phenomenal. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out. He's a big thinker, and I'm sure he's got all of his ducks in a row. But development is it's a dual-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a whole different beast, man. And the timelines are so much longer on that too. Of course, the payouts are bigger, but risk factors, you have politics, you have all kinds of rezone, you name it, man. There's so many different things that get rolled into development projects that I don't envy developers.
Joe asked, what's your framework in virtual wholesale?
Yeah. Oh, asking me. All right, cool.
Well, I'm not asking, Luke here.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Luke knows a lot more about virtual wholesaling. So the framework is going to be, it's really the same thing. Like, it's similar. Once you have a framework, the framework, you can just, take it and apply it everywhere. But on virtual wholesaling, what we do is as long as we have that sourcing and converting section of the lead, think about those as like little buckets of the funnel, right? You're sourcing, whether it's, cold calling, door knocking, PPC, or whatever. You're sourcing the leads, and then you're pre-qualifying them. Once you pre-qualify them, all my closers are in Yuma right now, actually. So we're not walking the properties. Everything is virtual. Even the stuff that we lock up here in town. Yeah. You just pick up the phone. All phone and start calling. So we have that. They push them over to acquisitions. Acquisitions does their thing. And it's, that stage, there's certain things that happen in their negotiation, discovery conversation, then get the signature and push it over to disposition. So that the framework itself, it's not going to be completely different. I did have to pivot into a couple of different things as far as platforms because of the data in different areas. PropStream, honestly, it's like the one that works the best right now that I've seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was one of the things for research and running comps, right? But outside of that, it's not that complicated. You bring them in, and then you take it through the acquisitions and dispo process.
Are you using Investor Lift or anything like that?
Yeah, for dispo, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that? Did you get the big boy cartel thing, or is it like a
no the other one, and
God mode or whatever?
Yeah, it's got God mode and Archimedes mode is the other one. So a couple of features there.
Robert's crazy. The owner of
fancy names.
Owner of that.
But one of the things that they have in there actually, and I like, and I don't think they talk enough about it, but it's that you actually have recommended title companies for every state.
Yeah.
So you have a list of recommended title companies that can go in there and then just do some research or validate it and whatever. And like, they're all investor friendly.
Yep.
But yeah, so we use that as part of that dispo process. On top of that, I have a 21 dispo marketing process for every property that comes through. So every single day for 21 days, we're just hammering it out. Boom, 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 boom. So
nice.
Yeah.
Guys, Rich Wonders, the Novation King in 8 minutes. Make sure that you stick around. He's got an incredible joint venture program if you want to learn how to do these deals and actually, be basically, standing on the shoulder of a giant that has done a lot of these deals. He's got an incredible story. I mean, he was a door-to-door Kirby vacuum salesman for 9 years. Like, you might have heard of that like in the 70s and 80s, maybe in the early 90s, but in the late 2000s, when was the last time somebody knocked on your door to sell you a expensive vacuum?
Yeah.
Has it ever happened?
No.
Right. Absolutely incredible. So he had to get through all of that, built his sales skills, found real estate, did a tremendous amount of work with Sean Terry, then went off and built his own thing, found his niche in Novations. If you're familiar. So guys, listen, whenever a lead comes in, there's 4 roads, right? They want to sell their property. That's a lead. That is a property owner's made the decision they're going to go. So what are you going to do? Is it a cash as is offer? Is it a creative finance offer? Is it a novation or is it a listing? There's your 4 paths. All right. Now, is there multiple paths within those paths? Sure. You could, all you creative finance guys that want to, show your big brain and all the different 250 different ways to close a deal. Yes, there's different paths there, but basically you go to a 4-way stop when you go, or a 4-way option when you get a lead. and having the ability to do a novation, which is essentially wholesaling to conventional buyers.
Yeah.
It's essentially all it is, really. There's right ways to do it and there's wrong ways to do it. And most people do it wrong. Rich does it right, and he's going to be on the show here in about 5 minutes. Oh, Antonio, that is awesome. Antonio sold 22 Kirby vacuums right out of high school. There you go.
Bam.
That is awesome. So there you go. Great job, Antonio. Listen, if you could do that, this business should be easy.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really think is interesting. And just going back to really strengthening your mindset. The more skills you have, the stronger your mindset's going to be, the more confidence that you're going to have. And that's an absolute fact. And I watched this and we actually have it. I don't know if Matt can show it, but there's another TikTok that had Tony Robbins on it. And he's talking about being great at sales and how fundamental that is to every business. Yeah. But to be really great at sales, you need to have the ability to be rejected and not cry about it and not take it personally, right? Have that part of your brain that just, you're like, okay, whatever, right? And two, not have too big of an ego to where you sabotage yourself or you make the people feel like, you're this big superior expert above them and to where they don't want to leave. So the best salespeople have their ego in check and have the ability to deal with a tremendous amount of rejection. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
Because I didn't have that. I didn't have that early on. The ability to. That's why I went and door knocked.
I had no sales experience before I got into real estate. Right. I mean, I was coming from the service industry, and then prior to that, fire department, we didn't have to sell anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could talk, and it's one of the things that hit me. It's like, man, I would feel destroyed after some of the appointments, some of the conversations. One thing I realized, and I think this was the real thing that just kind of changed the overall perspective on our industry for me, was when people are going at us and they want to rip our heads off.
Yep.
They're not mad at us. They don't know us.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
They're reacting to their own circumstance.
Yeah,
they're reacting to their own, whatever they're going through. Maybe they're having a bad day and whatnot. And then we just happen to be that, the catcher's mitt for all that emotion that's bottled up. And when I saw it that way and I understood it, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I was able to kind of, even if somebody was mean to me right over the phone and I'm, cold calling or door knocking or whatever, it's like I was able to take that and just set it aside and move on to the next one without energy in it. Or bad energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was important for me.
Love it. Look at all these people that have been in sales.
Yeah.
This is awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
Nice.
This is great. Brent, I know that Jerry mentioned starting. Why aren't these questions out here, Alejandra? Was mentioned starting an association for wholesalers, but have you considered joining forces with somebody already well-established investor associations like a national RIA or other? Yeah, I mean, RIAs are a franchise, right? You buy a RIA. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a local guys got together and call it Real Estate Investor Association, but RIA literally is a franchise that people buy into. So I don't know if they have certifications in RIAs around the country. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I have no idea. But I've never known it to them to have those certifications. So
I've never seen anything for our industry specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got. How much is Investor Lift?
It depends on on like what tier you're going. I mean, I think go up to 36K, and they have like plans at 5K, and so it just depends on what you're going for. We got the one below the cartel, which has all the features, bells and whistles, and everything. So,
yeah. Awesome, guys. You ready? Strap in. Nobody has more Novation deals or more sweet tats than my man, the Novation King, living on the penthouse in downtown Phoenix. Him and his beautiful family live there. He's living the life. He was out there smashing doors, building skills, selling Kirby vacuums. Now he is the leader in the industry of doing novations. It's our friend, Mr. Rich Wonders. Rich, how are you, brother?
Man, Brent,
What's
beautiful
up?
day, man. Thanks for that intro, man. That was killer.
Well, listen, I'm excited to have you on here. The audience is excited to have you on here. RJ Bates was excited that you're going to be on here. What the heck is a Novation, and why are you doing them? Why not just flip houses or wholesale?
Man, so a Novation allows you to take motivated sellers with houses that aren't a fit for an investor, but they're still looking for a hands-off experience. And we can monetize those with the right paperwork, setting the right expectations, and the right sales process. So we can sell them to retail buyers with loans. So it's a complete game changer.
So you can put it on the market.
Put it on the market, sell it to a nice family. Yeah, it's the thing we always wanted to do, but nobody knew was possible, basically.
Look at this. Look at Antonio.
Nice. Killing it.
How many Kirby vacuums did you sell?
So my top month was 30, but I sold probably on average, probably about 20 a month for 9 years. So whatever that is.
Thousands.
That's wild.
Quite a
Thousands.
few. Yeah.
That is awesome. What about Novations this year? How's it been for you?
It's been killer. You know what, Brent? Since I went on your show, we've more than doubled our deal flow.
Awesome.
So we were doing 10, 15, 20. We've consistently had 40 to 50 on the board at all times. And we just got deals closing, deals coming in. So it's been awesome, man.
So first of all, just let everybody know how are you still open to JVing, or are you at capacity?
Oh, yeah. We are growing like crazy. I've actually just onboarded 2 new people. So we are absolutely open for JV, novationjv.com. So that's the lifeblood, honestly, of my livelihood. Like the course and everything, I have that on the side. I really enjoy teaching and doing that. But the JV business has been incredible. Like it's changed. It's been a complete game changer for us. So, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I talked about, why do people coach or put out courses and that type of thing? The industry has given us so much. It's our way to give back. But it's absolutely critical that you're an operator, that you're doing deals, that you're staying current and up to date. And I think, listen, most of the people that have done really well and coached a lot of people, they're doing deals. You know what I mean? And Rich is certainly one of those. So if you're interested in learning how to do it yourself, he's got a great course for you and support, and a really great Facebook group. I'm a part of that. And they're wildly supportive and a ton of energy. But there's usually a ton of energy when people are making a bunch of money.
It doesn't hurt.
I gotta say something real quick here. This is I don't know, a few months back, we touched base and whatnot. It was like, and I invited him over to the office. He came over to my office and we sat down. And dude, Rich just broke it all down. Like he actually walked me through the entire conversation because that how do you transition right from a wholesale offer to a Novation offer and like all that stuff, dude. That script is, I think it's the best flow of conversation that I've seen.
Easily.
And I mean,
easily.
Dude, you were doing it with your eyes closed. It's like so natural, so like so on point. And I mean, it's just like, it goes to show, right, how dialed in you have this process, man. So
salute, my guy, man. I never really need too much of an excuse to come down and hang out with my boys. So it's cool. Yeah. Raphael's right down the street from me, and Brent's a hop, skip, and a jump too. So
yeah,
that's right.
Downtown powerhouse here.
That's right. So we're talking about scripting because your scripting is very specific. You go through a very specific process. You actually encourage people when they do get into your JVs to not have too much conversation with the property owner once they find out that a Novation's probably the best route for them to go with, because you don't want them to offer too much or offer too little or not really understand the process that you want to go through. Can you kind of, like, for everybody that's interested and they're like, okay, well, first of all, how do we distinguish that it's a good opportunity for a Novation? I talk about whenever we get a lead, there's four roads they can take: cash as is, creative offer, Novation, or listed on the market. So how do we know when we're at that stop sign to go down the path of Novation?
So we take every deal down the same path. Right. So like I'm speaking like internally, we treat them all the same, and we go through every deal goes through the cash offer process. because that first has to be eliminated as not a fit before they're going to be open to the other options.
Yep.
Because in their mind, that's the only solution that they're aware of. They probably don't know creative. They don't understand Novation or anything like that. But it's normally the nicer houses, right? It's a house that's not a fit for a full remodel. And it's normally, the seller has to also, the motivation has to be there. There has to be problems that they want to solve. And they're looking for hands-off experience. They're willing to take a discount. And as long as their version of a discount lines up with what we can do, it's a win-win. And we can tell them exactly what we're doing and push them right through. But I try to wholesale whenever I can because wholesaling's quicker, less moving parts, less things go wrong. Like probably 20% of our deals will sell off market. And even if we're making less money, if it's certain and it's quick, there's a benefit to that, especially when you have a bunch of deals on the board. Anytime you can clear one off, it's like, cool. Yeah, let's get it out. So
yep. Love it. Love it. So you go through the cash offer, get that off and then, is it condition? The condition has to be decent, right? Or are you selling ugly houses too?
No, we do ugly houses, and it's just as long as the discount there's a big enough margin between the condition. Absolutely, yeah. Because a lot of these houses, they're not, they're not remodeled, but they're just dated and livable, and they're comparable of other houses in the area. Like you'll see other houses are buying and selling in similar condition. So,
what do you make on average with the Novation?
Man, so this month I think it's been about 40,000. But this was a good month, and we had a couple big deals close that skewed that. I would say on average, most of them fall between 25 and 35. Probably about half our deals fall between that. The other half fall slightly below that, and we sometimes have deals that we make very little money on. We had one that we're making like $3,700 on. We had another one we had to give away our $24,000 fee because of a whole long issue with the seller not knowing about a mortgage, and we already paid for septic stuff, and we were going to get stuck with a $15,000 bill, and it was like a whole deal. And then we have other ones who make 50, 70, 80, 90. So it's, on average, probably 30 grand, I would say is about the midpoint.
And you're nationwide?
Completely nationwide. We get deals sent in every day all over the United States from wholesalers.
So let's walk through this process. You got a lead. You have a conversation. You make a cash offer. They don't want this cash offer. They want more for it. Then walk us through what happens next and how important. I hate asking too many questions at once, but it's like something I do all the time. It drives me crazy when I listen back to myself.
Keeps people on edge.
No, but go ahead. Let's just go with that, and then I'll ask you the other question.
Yeah,
I'll just write it down so I don't forget it.
So this is our ideal scenario for a JV handoff, right? Wholesaler gets lead. They're talking to the seller, going through the normal discovery phase. Through this discovery phase, they realize the house is actually in pretty decent shape. So automatically, once you realize that, normally, unless there's extreme pain in that seller's life, they're not going to be in a range that's going to work for a wholesale deal. So once you recognize that, it's a newer house, it's a nicer shape, whatever. We tell our JV partners it's best if you just slow down the intensity and make a more consultative approach and get as much info about the property, like the specific details on the kitchen, bathrooms, all that stuff, get more granular to buy some more time. And then also look for opportunities to have them talking about their problems, like their timeline, the things they're trying to avoid, where we can get a good picture of the overall situation. Because the pitch that is the highest converting with this is the perfect solution where all the things that they were worried about are addressed and is put into a nice package where we can have the momentum necessary to get them to make that big decision at the end. So gathering all the information and then doing some light price anchoring where they're naming off some low cash comps and seeing how the seller reacts. Mm-hmm. And if they can get them near or around our formula, which is on our website, it's basically 90% of current condition value minus at least 30K.
Sure.
It's best for them to leave them waiting on a decision. So basically, you have that conversation. You say, hey, look, let me get back to you in a day or two. We're looking at quite a few properties. I'll get a final decision for you. And then they submit the lead to us. Someone from my team, normally same day, will reach out to the wholesaler and they'll get any info we need. And then we'll pass our warm handoff script, which basically is what the wholesaler, they call the seller on three-way. And then they read off the warm handoff script, which is basically them backing out of the deal, saying it's not a match for them, but they have a colleague that has a different business model and they may be able to make an offer. And then boom, that's where we come in and then we start our sales process from A to Z and we have kind of a fresh start.
Love it.
Who hires the real estate agent?
We do.
How do you have the authority to hire a real estate agent for a property you don't own, Rich?
We've got a magic piece of paper. We use an attorney in fact. That's just an authorization to sign listing docs and addendums. So that's the only thing we sign on behalf of the seller. I know other people do it different ways, but I don't use a power of attorney. Seller signs the buyer's offer. Seller signs closing docs.
Awesome. What other documents need to be signed? A purchase agreement. What'd you say? Attorney in fact?
Attorney in fact to hire the realtor.
Okay.
And if it's in an estate or already has a power of attorney,
Yep.
then we just have that person sign the listing docs. Or if the agent, for whatever reason, has a problem with the attorney in fact, we'll have the seller sign the listing docs. So there's purchase agreement, attorney in fact to hire the realtor, and then we have a novation / indemnification agreement.
Awesome.
And that tells the title company what to do once we secure the third-party purchaser. Basically says we take on all the obligations on the new contract. The seller gets X amount as their net amount. These are the things they're responsible for. These are the things we're responsible for. And it's like a 1.5 pager. But that's what we turn into the title company along with the new buyer's offer. So we have the third-party purchaser offer. We turn in that, and then the novation agreement. Most of the time, they don't even get our original AB contract with the seller. That's more of a formality just to lock it up under contract.
Makes sense.
You got a question? Because I got a lot more. But
Yeah, no, go ahead. I do have, but I'm formulating them in my head.
Okay, so but Rich, once you put it on the market, the seller is going to be so mad that you are putting it on for so much higher than what the agreement that you have with them, and they're gonna cancel.
All you have to do, you just have to cut off the internet to their house, and then that way they'll never find out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? First,
shut down the electricity.
Obviously, make sure that their phones don't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So call up the phone company as them, put that on your attorney of fact to shut down their phones, turn off Wi-Fi, and send them on vacation for a month, right? That's how this gets done.
You know what it is with the right sales process? We sell the sizzle in the beginning and we explain the process, we explain the result and we give an overview of the process, and they are so sold by the time they get to the details.
Yep.
We can disclose all the details, right? So what a lot of people do where they have trouble converting these deals on a consistent basis, they'll convert some, but it'll be the most motivated sellers that this is really the only option for them. They'll convert those, but they'll miss a lot of ones that they could get because they try to pitch it as a process.
Yep.
They pitch it as we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to get the agent and do all that. And for sellers, they run all these scenarios in their head of what could go wrong. And then it sounds complicated. It sounds risky. It sounds difficult. And the way we pitch it is very unique, where we just focus on that they were selected. We do these on a high level. We only approve ones we're certain we can get done. And we're using our resources, and we just explain the whole sizzle. And then they learn about the MLS when we go through the contract, but that's not part of the pitch. There's a difference between selling and then closing. Like, we sell the sizzle and then we close on the details. So
got it. What are the pros and cons of novation versus just listing equitable interest on the MLS? Michael asks.
Yeah. So you can accept a buyer with a loan. I guess that would be a big one. A lot of MLSs won't let you list with an equitable interest too if you're nationwide. And yeah, it just, here's the thing. The way we do it, the buyer's agent and the buyer have no idea we're even in the transaction. We want to make it about the house and not about the process.
Yep.
Same thing with the realtors. We don't get into all the nuts and bolts on how we're making money and everything that, their job's to sell the house. We have them focus on that. Now, if they ask us, we'll give them reasonable information, but we're not here to give them a seminar on novations or try to convert them over to being a wholesaler or anything like that. We try to keep things simple because these deals are already complicated. So
love it. How important is it to hire a good realtor?
it's everything.
Why?
It's everything.
You could just do a flat fee listing, bro.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like these deals, there's way more things that go wrong. And if you want to make any real money, you're going to have to do it at scale. You're not going to, 2-3 deals a month, you can make a living, right? But to make any real money, you're going to want a bunch of these going, more than 10. And if the person that you would have to hire to do a better job than 10 realtors, one is going to be very difficult to find, very difficult to keep. You're probably going to have to pay them pretty good because it's a lot of work. So it's just the scalability of it, having the expert in the area, boots on the ground, their network, their vendors, they can coordinate things. There's a million things that they do. It's super important.
So basically what you're doing every time you bring on a realtor, I mean, you're bringing another team member, right? In-house team member, and then they're running that particular transaction for you, right? Do you still have like a transaction coordinator in-house to deal with all the agents?
Not to deal with the agents. For the paperwork, we use Easy REI with David Olds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really?
We do, yeah. I've been
That's
using it for
awesome.
like 8 months, and it's awesome because they find the title companies when there's title issues. Like I go and look through the logs. They have like an activity log, and on every deal, there's like 50 touch points. And I'm like, dang.
What's
what I mean?
What's this company again? I'm gonna share that today.
Yeah,
Easy
REI
closings.
Easy REI closings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're Novation friendly too. So it used to be such a pain finding Novation friendly title companies in like random places all the time. You know what I mean? And the nationwide ones can be hit or miss, so that was the main thing. But after I did it, I was super glad. So yeah, they definitely make it easy when things go wrong. So
Well, it allows you to stay in your area of expertise, which is speaking with the property owners, explaining the process, negotiating, doing all that. You know what I mean? As soon as you start adding, there's no way you're doing 40 deals a month doing your own paperwork. There's no way,
No, that's
especially
insane.
listing it on the market. I mean, you're talking 40, 50 documents minimum. Just for the deal, let alone everything that's going on with the title companies and everything. So easyreiclosings.com. David's a wonderful friend. He's a really, really, really smart guy, investor background. He's really great. easyreiclosings.com, guys. Make sure that you check them out. That's awesome.
I've met his team too. They're really solid.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
They
you get
live for
really
that
good
stuff, dude.
transaction coordinators that are they love organization, which we hate you know what I mean? As
I
entrepreneurs,
don't understand it.
just opens it up.
I love it.
How does this work with a divorced couple?
with a divorced couple, like how does a novation work?
Yes.
So it's funny you mentioned that because we have like 3 deals with divorced couples and they're all in different states of chaos kind of. So it depends on how well they get along, but you have to keep them both on board. Like in one of them, the wife, we had to give an extra $15,000 to, and the husband signed off on it because she was mad that, they were going through other stuff too. But yeah, I mean, in those types of situations, honestly, this can be a perfect fit because normally they're financially stretched. They went from a combined household income a lot of times to now 2 households split. They're emotionally distressed, you know what I mean, going through it. So yeah, normally we'll have at least 1 or 2 divorced couples going through, but you got to play peacemaker, and it's kind of on a case by case. Sometimes they're in a good enough position where they can talk to each other. Sometimes you have to kind of play in the middle, the mediator. So yeah.
Love it. Is that a pull-up bar behind you?
Yeah, man. That's my little dip bar, pull-up bar. Yep.
You just missed the
It
meathead
looks
segment,
it looks a
man.
little precarious. I mean, that's a thin. I mean, that's a far drop, isn't it? Like, look at that.
Rich is a tall dude, man.
No, but I mean, look, it's like oh, is that on the ground floor? That's not. Are you?
No,
you're on the
there's like a
second floor,
cutout
bro.
right here.
Look at
but-
that. I mean, it's a beautiful view, but if you flip out, you're a tall guy, dude. I don't know if that railing's tall enough for you.
I got a nice couch down there I can land if I have to, bro.
Wow.
Yeah,
Show us your pad real quick. Show us around. Show us what's
sure.
going on there. Are you on a laptop? Guys, this is absolutely awesome. Where were you living just a few years ago, Rich? Oh, we lost your audio somehow.
As I unplug my microphone.
There you
So
go.
when me and my wife first met,
Yep.
we had a little 1,100 square foot, 2-bedroom with a converted garage, 1 bathroom with 5 people and then 6 people
Yep.
up in North Phoenix. But yeah, I'm in.
Look at this. High rise, baby.
Oh yeah.
Guys, give him some love in the comments. When did you move in there, Rich?
Last year. And we're actually in June. I'm moving to a bigger penthouse in Tempe. We got a 7,100 square foot penthouse. That's the whole floor with the private pool. Like
Let's go.
I'm psyched, man. Real estate has definitely changed my life, man.
I'm telling you, this business will give you as much as you could ever imagine. It can. You just got to put in the work. And Rich has been on the phones and has mastered the phones. I mean, I know that you've got a team and you're building it out and you're still doing the deals yourself. But when you just started doing Novations, how much of your day was on the phone?
All day, every day.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, give me like 2 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours.
I would say maybe between 8 and 10 hours. Because when I was doing the Novations on my own too, I was having to do the late stuff too with the realtors and early stuff too, because I'd have deals on the East Coast. So I'd have to call this title company. Like I didn't have anybody, you know what I mean? When I first started, I was every position, you know what I mean? So yeah, I've spent a lot of time on the phones over the last like 5 years for sure.
David asks, if it's a good home with equity and will resell, would it be better to just buy it, take it over, and just list it with a good agent?
You can do that, right? The
Risk,
issue,
David.
guys,
Risk.
Yeah.
you're taking on the risk, yeah, and then you're closing on it, so you have another set of closing costs.
Insurance, utilities, inspections, all of these things. Guys, you have to understand this. This is going to happen to every real estate entrepreneur at some point.
Realtor fees.
No, well, and realtor fees, yes. At some point in your career, if you are flipping and buying properties, there's going to be a moment, and it's going to happen within 24 to 72 hours, where the market completely shifts and you give a bunch of money back to the real estate gods. I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. So the people that limit, if you see the people that have lasted a long time in this business, they are mostly wholesaling, taking as little risk as possible. And if they are doing flips, in their mind, every single time they go, if I have to, I will convert this to a rental. I'm telling you, if you don't have that bankroll, if you don't have that bank account that can turn, he's got Alliance Bank behind him. If you don't have the bank that can turn a flip into a rental property at some point, you're going to lose it all.
Well,
You're gonna take some huge hits with risk. Limit your risk. The way to limit your risk: wholesale Novation.
One of Warren Buffett's basic principles is like,
don't lose money.
Well, don't. Yeah, that's the number one. I think this is the second one.
Yeah.
But it's, if you buy something, don't buy anything that you can't hold on for 10 years.
Right.
You're looking at it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. No, that's a great point. Is the attorney in fact required, or just makes the process easier?
No, I mean, technically you could just have the seller sign if you needed to. So it's not required, it's recommended, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's not necessary.
Awesome. Rich, give everybody the website again for JVing and what the benefit is for JVing, at least the first couple or maybe all of them.
Yeah, novationjv.com. Our criteria is on there. Our process is on there. I mean, the benefit is this is a way for you to monetize leads you're already working for and paying for without having to learn a new process, without having to invest any money, without having to invest any time. You get 40% of the net profit just for sending it over. Okay, because novations, they are difficult. Like my job day to day is just putting out crisis every day. Like every day we have like 4 to 5 different massive crises that we have to do triage on. Yep. So we handle all that. So same way my creative finance deals, I just pass it off to a buddy in sub 2. You know what I mean? It's not that I can't do them, but the bandwidth to reward ratio, since that's not my main thing, I'd rather just pass it off because it's going to take up a lot more of my time than it'll take theirs. So
yeah, we send our stuff to you. I've been doing this business for 20 years. I said, I'm not doing the novations. I'm going to let Rich do the novation. You know what I mean? Ryan, my acquisition manager, knows. I mean, you came into our office and you taught us exactly your process. And we're like, yeah, that's great. We're going to stick with the,
we're going to send them over.
We're going to stick with the wholesale model. But these are going over to Richard Wonders. Guys, make sure that you're following him. He's got an incredible Instagram. Tell everybody your Instagram. And also, guys, it is Novation. Not novations, novationjv.com. Make sure you understand what the criteria is so that you're not just spinning your wheels or you submit something and you're waiting around or whatever else and you get frustrated with the process. Make sure that you understand how they can help you and if they can help you first. And that's in the criteria. But Rich, what's your
Instagram, Novation King, one word. YouTube at Novation King. And if you want to learn the blueprint or more info on novations, novationking.com.
Awesome. Rich,
bam,
you're the best.
Bro, good to see you.
We'll have to get you in a studio here in a month or so and make you a regular guest on the Wednesday show. You're right down the way.
Let's go, bro. I'm down, man. I'm down. Don't threaten me with
we'll have you whiteboard some of this stuff out for everybody so that they can deep dive. If you guys want Rich on the show more, please put it in the chat and the comment section if you're watching the replay of this. And we listen to the audience. That's how you build these things, Raph.
Exactly.
Yeah. See you, Rich. Love you, bud.
All right. Love you, bro.
Peace out, bro. Good to see you.
Awesome. Guys, listen, it is so fun doing deals with friends.
Oh, yeah.
It is so fun doing deals with friends. It is so fun. I feel like this auto, what is it? Focus is getting that and not me. And I don't like it. No, it's autofocus on me. Okay. Let me know.
Out of focus.
Yes, please. All right, great. Guys, we'll bring Rich back. Guys, put it in the comments if you're watching the replay of this. We've got a couple more questions, guys. We'll stay around if we have questions. If not, then we're going to close the show and get to the 21 text messages that I have.
Deal making.
So it'll be good. Here we go. I have a property that Angel. I have a property that negotiated that has some fire damage insurance paid a check to the owner, but I've never dealt with this type of situation. Anybody know of anybody that can help?
Fire damage. I mean, if they're getting paid and they're already getting money for the property, they're usually more open to negotiate on the price points.
Yeah. Well, how much of the property was damaged? Is it just the kitchen or is it the whole house need to be bulldozed? There's a big difference there.
Elijah Rubin has a process where he.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So look up Elijah Rubin on IG.
Fire Damage King.
But yeah, he actually
has the king of. We got the king closer. We got the Novation King. We got the Fire Damage King.
I got to come up with my own king stuff.
We got to figure it out.
I'm king with tacos. I know that.
King of tacos. There you go. You do know the best spots. I'll tell you that.
I am telling you.
Yep.
We all have talents. But yeah, Elijah. So Fire Damage King, he has a process where he actually monetizes on fire damage properties, like in 3 different sections of the transaction.
Yeah, it's really
look
cool.
him up if you have a deal like that, Angel. Yeah, I mean, he knows his stuff too. He's been around for a while.
Angel, whenever we look at fire damaged properties, what we're really looking at is how much of the property was damaged, and depending on the price point, if it's below 400,000 fixed up, you're probably at $125 to $140 a square foot for the renovation of the fire damage. If it's totally destroyed and it's bulldozed, you're giving them land value. And oftentimes that's what you have to do. Land value is going to be typically a 10% of what a brand new house will sell for is what an investor is looking to buy. So you have to be under that. So if it's a $500,000 brand new house in this subdivision, you're going to sell that lot for $50,000. So be it 30 or whatever, 35. All right. So there's a couple metrics there that'll really help you out. But if it's above 400,000, and it's just part, maybe 400 square feet of the house is burned, you're probably $150 to $200 a square foot. Especially, you see most fire damage happen in the kitchen, and or the electrical panel, which electrical has to all be redone, which means they open up the walls, which means it's basically a skeleton of a house that has to be
inspections, permits, approvals.
100%.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that factors in. So it depends.
Absolutely. Do you mentor people one-on-one? Wholesalinginc.com, wholesalinginc.com. Just click to apply. Would love to have a conversation. We format your blueprint of your specific strategy based on 4 parts, right? What market are you in? Are you new or experienced? Do you have a budget? Or are you just trying to build up that budget for marketing? And what does your schedule look like? Are you part-time or full-time? So based on those criteria, specifically to you, we customize a plan for you, and then you work with me to implement it, and I stay on you to make sure that you do. That's why the Rhinos do all the deals. Here we go. We've got Tyson. Oh, Ref, also, you've got coaching. You've got scaling and building systems and doing all that.
So I guess if I'm the king of anything, it's gonna be systems.
Yes,
systems
for sure.
And processes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's reiwholesaling.com. But same thing. It's about building. How can we pull ourselves away from the hustle, right?
Yep.
Like Tom Kroll taught us, hustle is a season,
not a lifestyle,
not a business strategy.
Yeah.
So you got to build, those ops and processes in place. So that's where I thrive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tyson, do you ever have a buyer send you non-refundable earnest money or to the title company? All money goes to the title company, guys. Yep. I'm just telling you, like, the title company is literally set up to make sure that there's a neutral third party that handles the funds. All right. I mean, it's so critically important to run. Don't get caught in the scam of, hey, give me 15,000. I'll just quick claim deed this over to you. Don't do it. Everything goes through title. Hey, Mr. Buyer, I'll send you money directly. I mean, the buyer wants to send us money directly. Send it to the title company. Everything goes to the title company. All right.
You don't want to
makes
find
it clean,
$100,000 lien on a
right.
$80,000 property.
Yeah, they send you the money. You go cash it, spend it on whatever, and then they find that the person you signed the contract with is only one of the parties that has the ability to sell it. They have to get the other 4. Now you got to refund them their money. Just put it with the title company, get paid at the closing. Great question. Oh no, that was the one we just did. Oh, do you have a particular list you get the most deals from? Probate, tax deeds?
Pre-foreclosures for us. Yeah. I mean, it's not. Yeah. Sorry, it's not like the sexy, the sexy answer. But
Matt, do we have the top 10 lists here
on pre-foreclosures? Yeah.
I'm going to get you the top 10 lists so that that you can. Let me see. Is this it? Nope. That's 17 steps to every wholesale deal. Here's your cash buyer ladder. Very important, guys. Don't sleep on this. At the bottom, you're going to make the least amount of money with wholesalers. Next is fix and flip, BRRRR. Rental portfolio buyers are going to pay more. Airbnb buyers are going to pay more. People that are going to build onto the property or bulldoze the land and build a bigger house will pay more. Owner occupied, hedge funds, and creative finance. That is the cash buyer ladder. Do we have it in there yet, Matt? No. Where's our top lists? how do we perfect part-time schedule, guys? If you are wondering what you should be offering in this market, make it a quick idea of what to offer. If it's 250,000 more on Zillow, just put the address into Google, search it, boom, 50% if it's 250,000. If it's 250,000 to 135%, and if it's 100,000 or less, 10%. All right. Make sure that you go through that. If you're wondering, what is the estimate for fixed up value? Don't be a contractor. Don't go do what I did and take classes at Home Depot on the weekends to figure out what the cost is to put tile down, or to understand, what the cost of 2x4s are, or plywood, or drywall, or roofing, or any of those things. Just use this repair calculator. There's 3 typical buckets of repairs. Easy is, carpet and paint, turnkey. Needs work is more you're putting countertops on, you're replacing some of the fixtures and appliances. And then, wow, this is bad, is basically you're not walking in there with open-toed shoes. You know what I'm saying? You're not walking in there.
It's easy to get caught up in just the headspace, right? Like, I gotta figure everything out. It's almost like we start looking for excuses to not fight with the buyers.
Yep.
Or get rejected by the buyers. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're ballparking all this stuff as best as we can, and then they have their own due diligence period that they need to handle things. So
awesome. Are we not finding it, Matt? Okay, so just to be easy, the top list around the country are going to be. Hold on, let me remove this. How do I get this off? Top lists are going to be driving for dollars, pre-foreclosures of if you're door knocking them. If you're mailing and calling them, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. If you're going to go after pre-foreclosures, get them early and get them at the door.
Get them at the door. I mean, you have to be very, very proactive. It takes elbow grease.
Probate and inherited, guys. Basically, all of these. Let me share this. Let me present this. Here we go. Share this screen right here. This right here is phenomenal. The real supermarket, probate, pre-probate, inherited, code violation, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, tax liens, absentees. I don't know about the credit repair. You're going to have to investigate that yourself. And then flipfinder.ai. This AI list is bananas, absolutely bananas. And you can get all those lists in here. And so you can see in Flipfinder, you got all of these tax delinquent, free and clear, high equity, low equity, upside down, foreclosures, vacancy, all of these. Absolutely incredible. Absentee owners. So basically, most of these lists are going to be absentee owners or tired landlords. All right. Tyson, any tips on wholesaling in Hawaii for renovation costs? Yes. Double everything. Double it.
Milk
and
is double. So.
Add 3 times as long. Bro, as well as I do, depending on what island you're at, it's island time, bro.
Yeah.
You got a short window. People are going to show up. I mean, it is shocking how many people will ship in people from California to Hawaii to get jobs done out there. It's just a different type of schedule out on island time for sure. So, yeah. And then obviously, guys, yeah, that'd be great. Here we go. Boom. There's your top 10 motivated seller lists. Driving for dollars, AI list, tired landlords, vacant, probate, code violation, vacant, expired, tax default, on market as fixer-uppers on the MLS. And then if you're door knocking, see, I don't have, Mahalo, exactly. I don't have a door knocking crew. But when I did, all we did was pre-foreclosures. If you mail to them and you call them or text them, you are going to waste your time.
Yeah.
Just telling you.
One thing that works really well for pre-foreclosures, and again, it's about getting proactive, right? You have to go into the county data records and then sometimes pull up the notices and stuff like that, because they're going to question you at the door.
Yep.
Like, how do you know, this is not me, I'm not going through that situation. But if you have the documentation behind it, which is public record in most places, at least the ones that we do business in, now you have a point of reference, right? So, but then again, that's the kind of stuff that you can't do if you're just picking up the phone and cold calling. You have to hit him in a different fashion. So keep that in mind.
Great show, Raf.
Love it. It's always a great
Thanks
show.
for being here.
Yeah.
You're the man.
My pleasure. Thank you for
Guys,
having me.
come on over. We're going to end the show now. Thank you guys for participating. If you're watching the replay of this, we'd love if you subscribe to the channel, put a comment in the comment section, like it, set up the alerts so that you know when we go live. We go live 2 times a week. Wholesale Hotline on Mondays. You got to get down, Luke, so they can see your face, or go up with it. Yeah, he's going to go up with it. All right. Here you go. Oh, there we go. Congratulations to all the winners on behalf of Alejandra, Matt, Luke, Raphael, myself. We love you. Go out there. Conversations, offers. Remember, keep your house clean, protect your health, and increase your value to the world. You live a fantastic life. See you next week. Love you.